All right, everyone, welcome to the podcast today. We have a bunch of special guests, some not so special. We'll start off with the most special, Dean. Honey Badge, how are you, Dean?
Good, bro. How are you?
All right, man. Well, next to Dean, we got Mr. Mohammed. Mohammed, how are you?
Good. How you guys doing? Thanks for
All
having
right, man. And then we got the not so special guy, Teep to the Junk. How you doing, Teep?
I'm good, man. I am a Luke Rockhold fan, and I am not ashamed.
Yeah, you just fucked up the whole podcast. I'm sorry. And last but not least, we have a very special guest, Clay, Uncle Joey's MMA edits.
What's going on, everybody?
How you doing, bro?
I'm a Manel Cape fan, and I'm not afraid to admit it.
Hey, bro, Manel Cape's badass.
Cape rules.
That's why I had to come on here.
Muhammad likes.
Yeah, we'd
Manel
hang up
Cape.
on you if you didn't say that.
And Muhammad likes Manel Cape, but he just doesn't watch him. All right, so we're going to start off with UFC 241. Let me do some screen share action here, and so we can all see the card. And I'm going to let you guys make some picks. Well, I'll make some picks too. But first up, we got Christos Gallegos, or Gallegos. I don't know how you say that, against Ricard Close. I'm going to let Mr. Clay take this one.
I got close, definitely.
Any route of
well, his past wins have all been decisions, actually. So yeah, I'm going with the decision. Yeah, actually, decision Benitez at 226. Actually, I don't know if any of you guys watched that fight.
Lando Venata?
That was a good one. Yeah.
I don't remember that fight. I've seen Close fight a few times, and I'll pick him as well. I'm gonna say decision as well, unanimous decision. Mohammed?
Yeah, same. He looked great against Venata and against
Bobby Green.
David Timur. Yeah, that was a sick fight. So I think he would definitely. He's got a really good stand-up, and he's going to take that decision.
Look at these motherfuckers coming here with all the knowledge. Dean, what do you got?
You got to go with the guy with the Michigan map tattoo on his body, man. You know he's going to know how to respond.
Hell yeah. Teep to the Junk. You got a pick on this one?
Yeah, I'm going with close. I think it probably will go the distance. It's either that or some sort of like flying inverted arm triangle. One of the two.
Pretty close. This next fight I thought was on the main card until Clay informed me otherwise, but this is about Rafael Assunção against Cory Sandhagen. Who wants to take this one first? Go ahead, Dean.
Yeah, man, Sandhagen is one of our guys here from Colorado. He's looked really impressive. I think he kind of got some hate in that John Lineker fight, just because it wasn't a finish, and John Lineker's got a lot of fans. But that was a hell of a fight, man. And this is a really tough test for him in Assunção, who's pretty good all over, who's pretty tight defensively. But man, if Sandhagen can get working on the feet, I think he can start working behind those combos, and he's pretty good on the floor too. I think he could take a decision, and this could be his breakout fight.
Do you know who Sandhagen lost to?
No.
Let me look that up.
Want me to look it up?
Yeah, I'll look it up. Since you guys
He lost to Jamal Emmers.
You guys just make sure that you just look into the camera like idiots and don't do anything. Make sure I do everything.
No, he lost to Jamal
one.
Emmers back in 2017, February.
Who was it?
It was at LFA 5, Jamal Emmers.
Oh, wow.
I don't know who that is.
I'm pulling up his Tapology just because we're going to give him some love from being from Aurora.
But he's won 6 straight since. I mean, that's old stuff. In fight terms.
When did he turn pro? Let's see. Let me scroll down here. It might be a little slow on you guys then, but oh yeah, he was 4-0 before that. I was just seeing where else he fought. All right, Mohammed, who you got in this one?
Assunção was the safe pick, just because of how fundamentally strong he is, but the fact that he's been so consistent for so long, maybe we see a new guy take over. So I wouldn't be surprised if Cory did well. He's like a lot younger than Assunção. He has less like fight miles on.
Mm-hmm.
So we could definitely. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Cory wins this one. But I'm gonna go with the safe pick and go with Rafael.
Dean, back to you for a second. You talked about the Lineker fight. That was a split decision that I was just looking at. I don't remember that fight at all. Was it close, or what was the deal with
He
fight?
was
Was it boring?
slick, bro. He was super slick, and just kept landing. And then if everyone wants to see John Lineker do John Lineker things, and it just kind of never happened. And I think they were just kind of maybe didn't like appreciate it in the moment. Was kind of just upset about the outcome. I think he probably won that fight.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and butt in here, and I'm gonna take Sun Tzu as well, just a safe pick. I'm gonna give a split decision, Sun Tzu. Clay.
I'm going with Sandhagen. I think a Sun Tzu is old. I'm going with Sandhagen.
Think he finishes him?
Yeah, I think in the second round.
Teep.
Yeah, I'm going with Sandhagen too. For the same reason. I mean, 10 years apart at that weight class. 10 years means more. That at heavyweight, 10 years can be an advantage because the experience to steer all that power. Down there, 27 versus 37. I know there's a lot of more factors in that, but both good fighters. Yeah, I'm leaning Sandhagen decision.
Someone here or what? Lex?
No disrespect, of course. Just I'm going with Sandhagen.
Love you.
I'm copping you, Uncle Joey. Every pick.
I was just gonna say that the reason I think maybe Muhammad, you'd agree with this, but Sun Tzu beat Marlon Moraes, right? His first fight in the UFC.
Yeah, but it was extremely close.
It was close, but I think that's the kind of fight we might see here is the experience versus, a guy on the come up that maybe doesn't have quite the experience yet. But anyway, so
that sort of happened with the Rob Font fight when he fought at Sun Tzu. I really thought Font would finish him because didn't he finish Barao or something like the fight before? I thought he would definitely finish him in that fight. So yeah, but who knows? I'm still going with Sandhagen.
He still ain't changing his pick. All right, Devontae Smith against Kama Worthy.
I don't know either.
Who the fuck are those guys?
Kama Worthy? That sounds like a Twitter handle or something.
We got to look that person up because they don't even have a fucking photo on here on Google. That's pretty weird.
Is it not Collar?
I'm going to go with Kama Worthy because he has a cooler name.
He's the Death Star.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Fuck.
The Death Star.
I'm going with Kama Worthy too, even though I've seen this Devontae fight before. I don't know if he came out as contender or where I watched him fight, somewhere on Fight Pass.
I don't remember fights from either. I'm going with last names. Smith is some boring old last name. Worthy is Worthy.
All right, Clay, what you got?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Worthy. I'm looking at it. Yeah, the topology looks very promising, the FC. What is that, though? What is that? Brawling the Burr? I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of what is 247 FC? I've never heard of that one either.
Steel Town Throwdown, bro. Is that in Pueblo?
No, it's Pittsburgh. Holy shit. I've never heard of most of these organizations.
Paul Felder, what is that?
Huh?
First round loss to Paul Felder.
That's like what organization was that?
PFC, Pittsburgh Challenge Series.
Oh shit! Yeah, he got knocked out by Paul Felder. I'm glad we're all picking the guy that got knocked out by a fucking analyst. Good job, guys.
Yeah, man. He's worthy.
Dean, did you get to pick this one?
Long time ago.
Yeah. Hey, run to that the Tapology page for the whole thing. Who was Devontae Smith's original opponent? Did it switch a few times?
It doesn't say anything. Usually it'll say canceled, but I don't see anything there. It just Devontae Smith. Let me look. I thought
it does say
you meant our boy Death Star here.
He must smoke a lot of Death Star.
I know shit. Oh man, look at that picture. That's an action photo. You guys see John Wayne Parr's fucking photo here on Tapology?
No.
We'll have to look at it. It's fucking him all beat up and fucking bruised. You guys gotta see it. It's hilarious. Let's see here. McDessie, it looks like. McDessie got canceled.
This guy got beat by the alpaca wrestler, I think.
What's that?
Did this guy lose to the alpaca wrestler?
I have no idea, man. All I know is that he was supposed to fight McDessie on this same date, and Clay Collard, if you guys could see that on my screen.
So I was looking forward to that Clay Collard fight. He was like a minus 1,000 favorite, and he was going to melt Clay Collard. Yeah, John Gunther, bro. He got finished by John Gunther. Jesus Christ.
So who, did you make a pick in this one, Dean?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Smith just because I don't know. I don't know if Death Star had a lot of notice, a lot of time to train. We'll see him at the weigh-ins. We'll see how he looks. If he looks ready to rock. But Smith's pretty dangerous standing, so I think he can get the KO. And I think everyone's looking forward to sleeping Clay Collard and padding their pocketbooks.
And Clay, did you pick this one, or did I miss anybody?
No, I didn't yet, but I'm definitely going with Devontae. I'm sorry, Clay, but yeah, I'm definitely going with Devontae on that. His last fights have looked incredible.
I'm not writing these down, but when I go to post this video, I'm gonna make sure that we all keep track of these picks because you guys got to be held accountable for some of these picks. Is all I'm saying.
I have Verdict MMA. You'll see my picks on Twitter. I won't hide.
Apology. I'll find that picture some other time. Maybe it was a different site. Anyway, all right, moving on to the main card, unless you guys want to talk about the early prelims.
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
My daughter left. Otherwise, I could tell you that she was going to pick Nate Diaz and Daniel Cormier, but we'll get there. Derek Brunson and Ian Heinisch. Let's go to Teep to the Junk on this one.
Yeah, I don't even have an opinion.
I'm going to pick Heinisch because I've seen Brunson look way too stupid and just way too wild. And, I mean, that's my opinion on it, Dean.
Yeah, now that Heinisch is in the UFC, I can go back to competing on the local circuit and stop ducking him. But I gotta support all the Factory X guys, man. Otherwise, they might make me actually pay when I go in.
Mohammed, who you got?
Got to go with Ian. I don't know, just Derek Brunson. I think it's
hard
maybe a bit premature,
Brunson, right?
but it's a little bit early for it's close to over for him. So I got to go with Ian Heinisch.
Clay.
Yeah, I'm going with Ian Heinisch as well.
Would you guys agree it's just hard to pick for Brunson in almost any fight because of the way that he fights?
Was it him that had that god-awful fight with Anderson, with Andersauce?
He's had
no, he was the one who had the god-awful fight with Elias Theodorou.
Oh, God. Oh, my
I didn't see that. I thought he fought Anderson a while back, like when
it was
on
the co-main event in UFC Ottawa.
Oh, God. Oh, man. I wish I didn't even know that.
It was the one that got Elias cut.
Yeah, well, I just know I've seen Brunson fight too many times and watch him be dumb. So, again, so we all got Heinisch in that one. You guys think he gets to finish?
I don't think so. I think a decision.
All right, let's move on. Gabriel Benitez against Sadiq Yusef. I'm going with Yusef. I could tell you right away, round 2 knockout.
Benitez is kind of inconsistent. He's a tough one to read. If he gets positioned, he can be dangerous, but he's got the low kicks. I like Yusef though to style on him, get the KO.
Clay?
I agreed with you. I'm going with Yusef.
All right, you got him by finishing too, or?
Yeah, I think in the second round or first. I never commit to a round. I'm really bad on picking
that's
like
hard,
a certain round.
It's hard.
But I'm normally good with picking like the person. So yeah, either first or second.
He's normally good. Everyone remember he said that because, like I said, we're all going to be held accountable for these picks right, at some point. Mr. To the Junk, what do you got?
Yeah, well, unlike Clay, who's a bitch, I picked the round. I picked the fucking minute and the second. 3 minutes and 22 seconds into the third round, Yusef is going to stick his shin bone right in Benitez's face, and that's going to be the fight.
3 minutes and 22 seconds. Okay.
3 minutes and 22 seconds into the third round. You can write that down. You can go put some money on it. You can – no, I wouldn't do it.
Hey, all I'm saying is if you can't handle Teep to the Junk calling you a bitch on your first time on the podcast, first time meeting the guy, then you don't belong in his podcast. So much respect to you, Clay. We talked way more.
I'm all right. I'm writing it down, 322.
Don't worry. And when Dean's not here, we all talk shit about him, so it's all good. Dean, what do you got in this one?
On Yusef Benitez?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Yusef. I think he's gonna counter a low kick straight left and put him to bed.
Mohammed, did you pick this one?
Yeah, I just said Sadiq as well.
Okay. Sorry, sometimes I forget. All right, the battle of the most crazy-looking motherfuckers ever. Yoel Romero against Paulo Borrachinha Acosta. I'm taking Yoel Romero, round 3, knee to the face, flatlined. I'm going to you, Mohammed.
Yeah, I got to go with Yoel. He's way more explosive, even though they're both like pretty pretty good looking and jacked, but Yoel is just way more.
Yeah.
Hey, can we just say
explosive.
Guys, can we just say juicy as fuck? Didn't Romero fail a drug test? They made some excuse. Like, come on now.
There's nothing.
That guy's
better.
full of steroids. Look at him.
No,
Look at him.
Wait, we can't say juicy as fuck, and it's not because of anything, PC. It's because Muhammad just said they're both pretty good looking.
Okay, so these
Okay.
That was a PG version of
No for gay Jesus. That's what Yoel said. No for gay
Right.
Jesus.
Muhammad's definitely on that tip. No for gay Jesus, Muhammad. Dean,
Yo, he's
I love you.
excellent.
I love you.
25 years old, I want to say, was Costa on one of those terrible seasons of Tough Brazil?
Yeah.
yes, but he also, if you guys
Yes.
don't remember, he fought Uriah Hall, and Uriah Hall busted his face up with a jab pretty bad, and that's why I don't think he's ready for Yoel, unless Yoel gets old overnight.
No, not on the supplements he's on, man. He's Cuban. He's been eating that his whole life. He's probably going to KO Costa in the second round. I think Romero's got the better cardio if it turns into a brawl.
Yeah.
Clay,
Yeah, I'm
Wait, so
definitely
Home
going.
Slice hasn't fought lately.
who?
He's only had one fight in the
Neither
last.
of them have. Neither of them have fought for over a year.
Yeah, Romero hasn't
so this is
fought
like-
since like last summer.
Yeah, the
Neither did
Whitaker
Costa,
fight,
though.
right?
I think Costa's like 14 months off or something.
Mm-hmm.
Clay,
Yeah,
what do you
not
got?
nearly as long, but it's been a while. But yeah, I'm going with
had a
Romero
Potential fail as well. The USADA potential fail with the
because of the IV.
the stomach stuff that he was talking about, that he had
Right,
some like kind
right.
of sickness, and that's what was resulting in that.
He
So
did
they've both been out long. The only downside is Yoel has had that crazy tough fight with Whitaker. So I remember reading this online where people were saying that neither Whitaker or Romero are going to look the same when they come back because of how much damage both of them took in both of those fights. Kind of like that Jose Aldo, Chad Mendez situation where they both were pretty diminished after they came back.
I was gonna say that, but more towards Whitaker because he
Yeah,
got dropped a lot.
I know, yeah, way more than Yoel. But then again,
I
Yoel
would think-
ate like a
He
bunch
definitely got stumbled a lot, though.
of flush
Yoel,
head
definitely.
kicks. So,
Yes.
I mean, like, there's only so many he can take.
Yeah, but Yoel walked right through that head kick. Whitaker fell down and looked
Yeah,
like he was
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Yoel didn't even barely move. He like stepped once to the side after he got kicked.
Yeah, Yoel never like hit the floor. Like,
Well,
His neck is like my thigh. Like,
Yeah, he
more.
got
Actually, his
hit to the
neck is
back
probably
of the
thicker
head.
than my thigh. I got twig legs.
who didn't pick this
But his
fight?
neck
Did
is
you pick
insane.
this fight?
yeah, I'm
Huh?
picking Yoel round 3.
Okay, Teep.
Yeah, man, Yoel, by the power of Jesus, he's gonna get some of that TRT tour in on it and spinning back kick to the head, bro.
What's the
Muhammad,
minute?
what was yours?
Oh
Yeah,
wait,
what's
hold
the
on,
minute?
hold on a second, because I ain't no bitch, so I'm calling. It's gonna be round 1. It's gonna be 4 minutes and 1 second into round 1. He's gonna spinning back heel kicking right in the temple, and that's gonna be fun. And then you're gonna be like,
I'm
Jesus
calling it.
God,
We're gonna hear
oh my
the
God.
trainers being, watch out. He's gonna come out hard this round, and then boom, something's gonna happen. Just
Let me
right
tell
where
you guys,
Teep
I
said.
have a hard time believing that Yoel may not even land a strike in the first round. From watching
I
this
know,
guy most of
yeah.
his career, he moves and
He's just gonna
measures
dance around.
distance, and that's why I said round
Serving the tank.
Yeah, and
Yep.
that's why I'm saying round 3. And since Teep to Junk wants to be a little bitch about it, 2 minutes and 56 seconds land strike TKO.
Yeah, all you
Anybody
guys
keep
are
it
soft.
track
You
of
better
it.
start picking the second of the finish.
What do you got, Dean?
Borchini reminds me of like those old school like shoot box guys where they're just all sauced and like hard sparring and they're super tough. But I think Yoel's just too elite. He's probably gonna knock him out in the second, couple minutes in the second round.
Mohammed, did you pick a round?
No, I didn't. I'll go with the third round, flying Cuban missile to the head.
So we're all for Yoel there, huh? Nobody
Yes,
giving Borchini
yes.
a chance. All right.
I think Paulo he's used to bullying, but he's not used to somebody that imposing.
Yeah.
And I think we might even see him potentially break if he faces a guy that he can't bully for once.
I like I said,
You guys are ruthless. God damn.
after watching that Uriah Hall fight, Yoel Romero's a lot better than Uriah Hall. And
Yeah.
I mean, Uriah Hall might
Oh,
not
yeah.
jab per se, but he busted his face up bad, and Borchini didn't look his greatest in that fight. You know, and we had just seen him. I think he's like one of the only 4 fighters ever to like knock out his first 4 or 5 opponents in the UFC, though. So I mean, he's going in there guns a blazing. But there's only been one guy to ever stop Yoel in Strikeforce, Feijao.
Feijao, yeah.
And it wasn't really.
It's also who they.
Tim Kennedy. We're gonna ignore that.
What was that, Clay?
Gonna ignore the Tim Kennedy situation with the stool.
You know that John McCarthy came out and said that was actually the fault of the commission and not Yoel's corner. It was actually the commission that put too much Vaseline on him, and it was their job to come in and take it off, and they wouldn't listen to it on. I think it was on Joe Rogan. Mohammed, did you hear that?
No, I don't recall that. No.
Yeah.
I'll send that to you guys, but that was John McCarthy talked about this, and he said that it was on the commission, not Yoel. Like, yeah, Yoel shouldn't have let him sit on the seat for so long. He said if he could do it again, he would have made him stand up, but it wasn't his corner's fault. It was the commission put too much Vaseline on him, and then they needed the commission to come in. The commission doctors, not Yoel's corner. You know what I mean?
I see. Hey, I want to add something too, because in the slow motion, you see Kennedy grabbing the glove to land.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
2 big shots.
Yeah.
So that cancels out. You know, he might have been doing the bitch sit on the stool and like, oh, I don't know, no English, you know, whatever he was doing to like get some extra time. But Kennedy grabbed his gloves and almost won the fight. So fuck Tim Kennedy for that. He should have just been like, yeah, I did. I'm sorry, because you know he's a Tim Kennedy's like he's got that army combatives. He's that kind of like. So he knows when he's grabbing someone's fucking glove to land the two big shots. So I'm actually glad. I'm not a Romero fan, but I'm glad he won. You know, I'm glad that he didn't lose over some bullshit like that. That's low.
Hey, Dean, let me
That's
ask
all I got to say.
Dean, you ever had someone grab inside of your glove like that?
You know, did you see that Eddie Alvarez fight? The recent one?
You fought Alvarez?
The 1-in-1 championship?
Yeah, Zero was drilling that flower sweep the next day, you know. After he got dropped, he hit that nice sweep.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to think that he, you know, just pressure fit that guy's hand against his thigh. But when you do that with the gi on, yeah, you do actually grab the inside of the material there. So sometimes, yeah, if you've trained a lot in the gi, or you train a lot in the ACUs, that can be a pretty common thing. The ACUs are sick for the Ezekiel choke because they have little like Velcros on them, so you can open it up like a bad guy pro wrestler before you like set up your Ezekiel.
Did you pick a method on this one, Dean? You guys got to remind me of shit.
Romero by knockout.
No round because Dean's being a bitch. We're going to go to the co-main event. Anthony Pettis against Nate Diaz. Diaz been out 3 years. Pettis coming off a win of Wonderboy Thompson, which was a hell of a knockout, right?
Oh, yeah.
Who wants to take this one first, Clay?
I'm going to go with Pettis. I think it might be a decision. I don't see him finishing Diaz. I think it's too short of a fight. If it was like 5 rounds, I think he could do it. But, yeah, I'm going to go with Pettis. Decision, I think he's probably going to chop at the leg. He's probably going to copy RDA's strategy, probably what Connor did.
Let me ask you, are you banking on Diaz having some ring rust?
Probably not. I don't think he'll have any ring rust, but
so you just think
everybody always underestimates Pettis. I think he's going to get it done.
Yeah, makes sense. Mohammed, what you got?
I'm going to go with Diaz just because last time he got finished, he ran into a head kick because Josh Thompson was constantly like circling away and everything. This one, Pettis doesn't really have like a counter striker style. He stands right there, but he's not as like explosive and aggressive as RDA. So that slight difference in the pressure style is going to make the difference, and I don't think he's going to necessarily be able to implement like a leg kick heavy thing. So hopefully, I think Nate Diaz can win. So that's my pick for a decision.
You know, that's interesting. You mentioned that Josh Thompson fight because he got kicked square in the face 3 times in that bout.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, Nate Diaz has a chin that's unlike any other because he wasn't even really out. I mean, he went down and his brother threw the towel in. But he's another one of those guys like Yoel. Like, I'm not sure that you could put these guys completely out. I mean, I could be wrong, but Dean, I'm really interested to hear what you got on this one.
Man, it could be a nightmare matchup for Diaz if he doesn't want to check any kicks. I don't think he's going to take, especially if Pettis goes low a bunch of times, it hurts him and then mixes it up and goes high. He could totally he could put him to bed with something like that. I think both guys are underrated. Diaz is kind of underrated boxing, and he's always going to be in great shape. He's got a ton of heart, great jiu-jitsu. He's hard to take down, but a lot of guys will say, people have figured Pettis out. Well, yeah, if you're a giant pressure wrestler, you figured Pettis out. Nate Diaz, his style isn't one that's going to have figured Pettis out. So, yeah, I think it could be a leg kick heavy game for Showtime, and he could look for a highlight knockout.
Wow. So that's pretty interesting. Teep to the junk.
Yeah, I don't know what all that bullshit he just said was. Muhammad, with the big brain on Muhammad, he knows what's up. Diaz trains harder as a hobby than most professional fighters can physically take in camp. It's fucking Nate Diaz. I almost called him Nick. It's little brother Nate is going to have the cardio and the pressure. He's going to throw mad hands. He has tough legs because he does. Triathlons and long-distance biking and endurance swimming and shit, his legs are made of steel. He's not coming in hurt as far as we know, like the RDA fight. He's going to fuck somebody up. He's going to come in with that pressure. There is a game plan to beat Nate, but it's not Pettis' normal thing. Like, Nate's not going to get hurt by a body kick and jump in and give his neck up. He's not, his grappling credentials, you're not going to just slap a sub on him because you hurt him. You could wobble him and still fuck up and get go-go plotted with the double middle fingers, some crazy shit afterwards. It's Nate Diaz, so
that's interesting.
I'm more of a Nick fan, but I do think Nate's conditioning and his pacing and will make the difference. Even though stylistically, if they were both in their full primes, Pettis has the advantage. But I think Pettis is a little further past his athletic prime, at least, than Nate. Nate stays in good shape.
So since you're going to be a little bitch and not pick the time or decision or what?
Oh, no, I think it's either going to be a decision or it's going to be 3 minutes, 33 seconds into the third round. He's gonna hit him with a three-finger choke. No, I don't know. That's not a thing. No, I think he's either going to choke him out late in the fight or it's going to go to decision. But right. I do believe he's going to put a lot of hands right up Pettis' nostrils. It's going to be beautiful.
Clay, correct me if I'm wrong, but you picked Pettis?
Yeah, but did you guys see Nate Diaz smoking a joint at the weigh-ins?
Yeah.
Or not the weigh-ins, the workouts?
Oh,
yeah,
really?
the open workouts.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm scared. I don't know if the fight's still going to happen.
I'm scared.
Literally just lit up. So it's not even like it wasn't even
it's on camera. It's right on stage.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Like lighter and everything.
Wait. Hold up.
It's on Ariel. Yeah, Ariel.
I don't want to screenshot this.
He smoked a joint. He smoked in competition on camera.
It was at the open workouts today. Let me check it out.
Oh no, that's not in competition. It doesn't
matter though. Okay. It's inside the UFC facility. Remember when he was smoking the fucking CBD at the press conference? He got in trouble for that.
That's full on weed, though. That's not like a CBD pen. That's the full on.
No, they said that wasn't CBD, but the UFC knew that. They don't give a fuck. They're like, money. We like money. We're whores.
This clip is like a full on joint.
The piece of shit Hardy on TV.
Okay.
Well, you know what though? If I was Nate Diaz, and he probably, I like Nate Diaz, but probably not versed enough to know that, like, I smoke some straight CBD weed or high CBD weed. It's like 10% CBD and like 6% THC. I smoke it for pain reasons, but still, that ain't gonna work for him. Let me check this out real quick. So what?
You smoke bitch weed?
It's on Ariel's Twitter.
Whatever. Fucking Colorado's got the best weed in the world. I ain't smoking no fucking East Coast whack shit like you.
They don't give a fuck. They'll change the rules if they have to. He will fight. They won't pull that fight over some weed. They'll move it. They'll be like, new venue. John Jones style without the steroids.
Let's take a vote on that, Clay. You think the fight could get pulled because of this?
No, not because of this. I remember, isn't it like you could do it like any time, just like 24 hours before the fight? You can't do it
inside of the venue where other fans and shit are.
I don't know about that.
No,
but
that's probably a non-smoking venue. Realistically, that's a non-smoking venue.
I'm watching it right now.
Realistically, it's just like 2019.
Yeah, I'm watching it.
They'll write him a stern.
They'll
write him a stern letter.
Right. Yeah.
After they cash the check, they'll write him a stern letter and forget about it.
Yeah,
I
They
think
don't
it'll
care.
just be something like
for
that.
every embedded video. So they've invested heavily. So if they could do that for Jones, they're definitely gonna find loopholes for Nate.
Like that,
Just
Joe?
wait
Hey, guys.
tomorrow. There will be an embedded video on it tomorrow. It'll be perfect.
Yo,
Oh,
yo,
jeez.
guys, there's a video on Nate Diaz's YouTube channel, preparing for war or something like that.
Yeah.
Listen to that beat. That is sick.
It's so dope.
It's all kinds of looped blues guitar. It's all like pentatonic string bending on a Telecaster or some shit.
Oh.
It's cranked wide open through a little fucking tube amp, some old school Fender tube or something. It's probably just a generic guitar through a computer program, but it sounds
Yeah,
the
probably.
shit.
Oh shit!
That is one of the best beats I've ever heard. I love that. Check that out.
Hey, you guys still there?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
we're still here.
I don't know why I got.
We were talking shit about you.
Hold on, I got signed out for some reason. You guys could still see me and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
He can't hear us? Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy. Oh, hold on a second.
Oh, now you're
I
psychic.
tell you guys about the 40-minute thing, so I don't know if that's why it kicked me out. Let me see. Hold on a second.
Oh, yeah. Let's do a new meeting.
I don't know how long we've been
We got
going
to.
for, but it's been about 40 minutes.
42.
But let's just
42.
finish with this main event because it still says it's recording, so we must be all right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got a
nothing
pop-up a little
happened.
while ago saying that the host has made this unlimited, like no time limit on this meeting.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Zach.
Sometimes it fucks with me and does the 40-minute thing because I have two accounts. But anyway, let's
Right.
it's still recording, so let's get through this main card and then
Yeah.
we'll re-record. We'll stop and we'll do a new meeting for the Rizin. Okay.
Yeah. I gotta let this monster out. I don't know if you guys can hear it breathing through the microphone, but it's super loud.
What? Your dog? Go ahead.
Yeah. She takes CBD though, and it
Well,
helps her.
let's pick this main.
helps
Let's
us.
pick this main one, and then you could let her out. We'll take a 5-minute break and then pick.
I'm gonna go with DC again. I thought it was a great fight. Stipe's really exciting, but he likes to brawl, and DC really was a little bit more technical. He wasn't staying in the pocket after he threw, and I think he gets really high level sparring there at AKA. Both guys they're excellent with their wrestling, with their striking offense. The difference, I think, is going to be that defense, and that's where DC is just a little bit tighter. So I predict another knockout.
Interesting. Any round?
Ooh, could be a little bit later this time. We could get to see it. Could see it go into the second, third this time.
Chief, what do you
Could
got
be.
for this one?
Hold on, man. No, you can't get this. Is a Daniel Cormier fight? Like, give us the exact second the fight ends, Dean.
4
Come on,
minutes,
bro.
1 second into the third round.
4 minutes, 1 second.
Yep. Let me let this monster out.
I didn't. Go ahead. And while he does that real quick, I didn't even pick the Nate Diaz fight because I forgot. And you guys just.
Oh yeah, I was about to say.
You stoner.
Nobody cares about my fucking opinions anyway. But I'm picking Nate Diaz to finish my fucking triangle choke at 2 minutes and 41 seconds of the third round. There
2
you go.
minutes 41. I said 3 minutes 33. Okay, whoever's closer has to.
My problem. Let me just tell you my problem.
No, I'm not gonna do a bet.
My problem is that if this was a 5-round fight, I'd pick Nate Diaz all day.
Easy, yeah.
Worry that because it's a 3-round fight that Pettis might get a decision.
But wasn't the Pettis
Yeah.
fight with Tony? Was that 3 or 5? I can't remember.
That was
a great
three.
fight.
That was
And that
3.
ended after 2 rounds.
Tony's a lot more unpredictable than Nate, but I think actually Nate has a higher ability to turn it on.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me ask you guys that. We've seen fighters fight with broken hands before. What do you guys think about Pettis stuff?
There was no suspension. I looked up the medical suspensions recently, and he wasn't even out for the hand thing. So, like Tony was saying
So it was
afterwards,
just
with
a
all due
thing.
respect, Tony was saying afterwards, which I agreed with, that he had mentally broken because he kept saying again and again, "Oh fuck, man, my hand." But then afterwards, no suspension. He was only
Damn.
out for like 60 days or something.
See, I
I
asked
looked
you-
it up again,
Sherlock,
and
elementary, my dear
I think so.
Muhammad. Wow.
This is actually why I asked you that. Why I asked you guys this question is because I never saw one thing about his hand, and
yeah.
recorded with Rocky Martinez, Rizin vet, the other day, and he broke his hand against Jake Hune in the first round of a card Muhammad probably didn't watch, so I'll talk to someone else about it. But no, he broke his hand in the first round, and it was like he told me, because you don't hear as much corner audio on Rizin, and he told me, he said that his coaches had asked him if he was okay, and basically gave him the chance for that out, just like Pettis' coach, right? Whatever his name is, can't ever remember that guy's name for some reason. Clay.
Yeah.
You're asking me?
Yeah, what's Pettis' coach name?
The Rufus brothers.
Yeah, the Rufus.
Anyway,
Rufus sport. Duke Rufus.
like he gave him a couple outs as well. You know what I mean? He was like, well, if you can't go with it and you can't go, and like I said, all due respect to, Pettis probably kicked my fucking ass. It ain't about that. It's just about the fact that I thought that, he was in the fight. He had dropped Ferguson. If that's me, if that's probably Dean, if that's Muhammad, I mean, it sounds like we'd all just say, no, I'm all right, and continue, right? Dean.
I feel like he gassed out in that fight. Did I read that wrong? Was I too drunk for it? I felt like Tony outworked him and he gassed out, and that was it.
No, he stopped on the stool. He stopped on the stool.
Tony just really turned it up after the thing, and Tony cut him from the
bottom. That's what I'm saying. Like,
he got bleeding all over the place.
Like, if there was no suspension, he didn't fuck his hand up that bad, but, like, he just looked like he gasped. Like,
he was getting fucked
Tony's
up
a fucking crazy pace animal. He's got more in common with Nate. Well, even actually more in common with Nick, because Nick would like to throw those elbows and shit too. A little bit of wing chungery, doing the spinny hands and the look at the one hand while I smack you with the other and stuff. Like, Nick's beautiful. So I see a lot of parallels between Tony, and I think it's bullshit that he hasn't fought Khabib. They've been the top two lightweights in the world for a long time now, for a couple years. They can't I don't care that the fight got canceled. You just put it on again and have a backup.
Yeah.
How are you not going to have the two top guys fight each other?
But then they fought on the same.
It's been so long. What's that?
They fought on the same card.
Yeah.
It's some fights you just never give up on. That's one of them. Fedor and Barnett. I don't give a fuck if they're 60.
But
they got to fight.
At that point, if you're on the same card, just switch the fucking matchups, right? Because all of us want to see that. Dean, we were just talking about, just to fill you in, Muhammad, Mr. Investigator over there, informed us that there was no medical suspension for Anthony Pettis after he supposedly broke his hand. Do you have any insight on that?
What's that?
Anthony Pettis supposedly didn't have a medical suspension after he broke his hand against Tony Ferguson.
Huh.
And we were just kind of talking about how fighters fight through broken hands quite a bit. What would you think about that stoppage?
Aliens.
That was interesting. I mean, it seemed like a classy move from his coach, but at the same time.
Okay, if that's your coach, and I'm telling you, he had to tell him multiple times, but I'm saying, Dean, if you can't fight with that hand like that, if you can't throw that hand like that, it seemed like he was giving him multiple outs to me.
Yeah. My coach is telling me to go back out there and get knocked out like a man.
There you go. I think that settles it. All right, so we're back on the main event now. Dean's back, so we had to wait for you because we're such nice guys. Yeah. They all requested wait for Dean, especially Muhammad.
Yo, did Clay weigh in on that fight? Who did he pick?
I picked Pettis. Everybody's shitting on my pick, though.
No,
you bitch out. You don't get the
first one.
He's been quiet since then. I feel bad.
Yo, Clay, yeah, that's right. You sit your ass over on the other screen. We're on the main screen. You're over on the side.
Let's not even talk about it, though, because Dean rambled forever, and I'm not even sure who Dean picked at the end after he rambled forever. But I think
to give me credit, I said he probably wouldn't finish Diaz. He would probably only get a decision if he wins. So to give me credit,
don't mean nothing. No one finishes him.
Dean,
exactly.
Did you pick
Pettis?
Dean and his stoner dog over there.
Yeah. See. Okay. So
smoke some CBD with my dog.
All right. So I'm gonna go to Clay on the main event here. Daniel Cormier, Stipe Miocic, Part 2. We started.
Right now, I'm wearing a Stipe shirt, a UFC 203 shirt. But I don't like his mentality after he lost. He kept on saying that Daniel Cormier won the lottery and everything. He's being all. Sounds like real stubborn after he lost. It doesn't really sound like he's really accepted it and trying to make a better version of himself. So, unfortunately, as I'm wearing his shirt right now, I'm probably going second round stoppage. Probably, I think he's going to submit him this time.
Wow. That's an excellent point that you bring up. And I also was watching a thing today on Stipe, and he hasn't watched the fight as well.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I heard
he hasn't watched the fight.
No. Yeah. I mean, this guy's in denial, kind of like your boy fucking the Wolf over there. Cheap's boy fucking Wolf Caldwell, who thinks he's still the fucking Bellator champion, right?
Oh, I saw that. That's
I
don't know if he gets. I don't know if he has to. Hey, I don't know if he has to be my boy. I mean, I like him, but
you picked him.
I never cheer against the gooch.
Second fight because of the cage. You picked him.
I did pick him. No, but I don't pick who I cheer. I picked I picked Bader against Fedor, but I'm never cheering against Fedor. That's a separate equation.
We're not even talking about
You know?
Fedor. You pick against the Gooch, you pay for it for the rest of your fucking life.
We can all. Hey, let me just tell you guys.
Muhammad was at Rizin 13 watching fucking Tension and Horiguchi, and guess what? I saw the video. He picked the Gooch, didn't you, Muhammad?
You picked the Gooch against Tension kickbox?
No. In the crowd, the girl behind me was screaming for Gooch. I said, might as well.
Hey, and most of the crowd was screaming for Horiguchi, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, it was, man. Everyone around, it was like a small section for Tension, like his people with the flags, but the whole crowd was just crazy for Horiguchi, man.
That's what's
because
so
they knew that he was going in somebody else's discipline and he was not most likely not going to win. But the fact that he put up such a competitive fight and then got kicked in the dick like 3 times in the same round, people are like, all right, okay, we're his fans. But the biggest reaction that whole night was for Bob Sapp and Osunarayashi or whatever.
Yeah.
Great Sandstorm? Dude, right?
You know that dude came
That was funny as shit. I love that fight. That's my kind of fight.
Yeah, he came out throwing, though. Like, he almost took out Sapp.
He was the first fighter I've ever seen come out to a Pink Floyd song as well. And so I was all fucking jazzed about it, right? I'm like, fucking Pink Floyd. And then all of a sudden, he fucking looks like he's going to stop Bob Sapp.
Yeah.
No time at all. And then Bob Sapp shows the fucking heart of a warrior.
They must have paid him an extra, like, $50K or something.
I'd like to hear someone tell me some shit about Bob Sapp fucking fixing fights and shit. Because watch that fight. He could have quit so easily in that fucking fight. Anyway,
it is possible to legitimate. Hey, it's definitely possible to legitimately lose a shit ton of fights in a row without trying to lose. You know, he probably gets flashbacks to when Crow Cop broke his face.
Yeah.
That was fucking. Imagine getting kicked full force, walking towards Crow Cop, right? Being big as shit, too big to move out the way, not knowing, not wanting even like to shin check a Crow Cop kick because you're Bob Sapp. You probably break, you cry from the pain. Yep. And just getting kicked full force and then punched right in the orbital. What the fuck? Or was his jaw? Something broke.
Well,
fucking prime Crow Cop broke Sapp. He was still dangerous, but I don't think he quite had the same mentality. He was like, I'm mortal.
Bob Sapp beat Ernesto, who's twice. That's all I gotta say.
Don't remind me. Oh my god,
those fights are incredible.
Yeah,
that was like when Bisping knocked out Rock Salt, like made it look easy. I'm still crushed from that. That's the level. Both of those, all 3 of those fights. That broke my heart, and especially because Rockhold's so unpopular with the boys. Oh, he's popular with the ladies, but with the boys, they're all so jealous of his skills and his
Demi
his
Lovato.
check hook, and his body kicks, and his beautiful southpaw legs. You know, they're so jealous. But
you guys ever see that fucking meme of when he's sitting next to Nate Diaz? And Nate Diaz.
Oh my god! Yeah, I should have included that in the video.
Oh my god. My butthole flipped inside out with the cringe that I got from that, and I'm a fan. I'm like, dude, put your hands away. Put your hands away.
Can you turn on your camera for a second and say that to the camera? That you're a fan.
Say what?
Yeah,
that you're a fan.
I'm a Rockhold fan. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I do it. I'm sitting in my car and
turn on your camera, show your face, and tell people what you are. Teeth to the junk.
I am a Luke Rockhold fan.
Oh God,
I'm not sorry.
Oh man, I'm sorry, guys. If you guys never join me again on this podcast, I understand. But anyway, that was a good night. I remember that. But let's get back to the main event because we've gotten way off course here, and we'll be talking about the Rizin.
Hey, real quick.
How the hell did we get on?
One of my students pulled a gun on Bob Sapp at Mitchell High School locker room.
Really?
Oh, that's awesome.
We got to hear
the story. It's
a pretty quick story.
Fuck you, Bob.
Yeah, quick story. We got to hear it.
He had a pretty fine sister, though. That was also part of the story.
So what happened?
Wait, what?
I guess Bob Sapp had a smoking hot sister back in the day.
Why did he get this gun pulled on him? Because of his smoking hot sister?
Exactly.
Wow. That's pretty
And
good.
so he all swole up on him, and dude had to pull a piece? Damn.
Yeah, he went up. He's like, are you talking to my sister? And this guy, I mean, I trained this guy a couple years ago, and he ran track at Notre Dame, but he's a little guy. He's like 5'1", 140.
Yeah.
And the dude was just, nope. Like one of the kids in The Wire with just a Ruger in his backpack, you know?
Yeah, but do you ever think...
Yeah, what are you going to do? It's Bob Sapp. He's like, he was never small, I'm sure of it.
And then the fact that, did you ever think that Bob Sapp might just eat that fucking bullet for lunch? Anyone ever think about that? Man?
You got to empty that clip.
That's right. And you gotta have a fucking lot bigger bullets than what.
Yeah, it's got to be a goddamn shotgun.
That's what I'm saying. A couple blasts too. Bob Sapp, man. What the fuck? All right, Mohammed.
He falls on you. It's over for you.
Sapp's so big. He's got his own. He's got his own gravitational field. I'm surprised that the gun just didn't just like Tito's head. Like Chael said with the orange, he threw it at Tito and it started orbiting his head. Bob Sapp, man, he's like a whole section of space. He's like there's a lot of there's probably an inappropriate joke in there somewhere, but yeah, man, that's a big guy.
Who's the one who started on the main event?
That was me.
Go ahead and finish, Clay. I'm sorry. I think we just totally cut you off or something.
We're drowning you out, Clay.
Well, I picked
Stipe
because of his bad attitude. I said that he was really stubborn, and he said that he never rewatched the fight.
Yeah.
And he kept on saying that Cormier won the lottery, da-da-da-da-da. Basically, it doesn't sound like he wants to accept the loss and just move on.
And I think that he could have took a fight in between.
Yeah, like it's been so long. He could have fought Derek Lewis or some shit. Like,
anything. I just, I think it's the longest layoff of his career, and that's the worst guy to do that against, I feel like. And I feel like Cormier is
definitely Cormier.
But Cormier, unless, like we talked about with Yoel, unless he just gets old overnight, I don't really see many ways that he loses this fight. What do you think, Dean?
Yeah, he's pretty defensively sound. He comes from, a really great camp that's going to have it all game planned. And, Stipe's dangerous brawling, but I think they're gonna have a lot of ways in the clinch to shut him down like before. And he's a guy that can get frustrated, especially over a 5-round fight. I think if they play that game with him, they get frustrated and find their shots either in the open or if Stipe throws a combo and kind of stays in the pocket and doesn't get out right away. DC actually had really good movement. He was in and out of the pocket. He wasn't staying in range last time. He still took a lot of damage. He was fighting a tough guy, but
good point, though. He had better lateral movement, too. Stipe
sure.
doesn't have very good lateral movement. He stays in the pocket and either comes straight back or goes straight forward. That's a really good point. I didn't even think about that. Clay, I wanted to ask you, when you were watching the first fight, and I'm going to ask all you guys this, but did you expect Stipe to win?
Yeah, I expected him to win, and it did look like it. Like he never really got taken down by Cormier.
He actually took Cormier
down. A lot of times in the clinch, he sort of reversed him, and there was that time he took him down. But I think Cormier just adapted to what he was doing quickly and just shut out the lights when he wasn't expecting it.
And Teep, what did you think about? I'm going to just ask you guys about the first fight before you go on with your prediction. What did you expect? Who did you expect to win the first fight when you watched it?
So I was actually pretty unsure about the first one. I got most of my in real life friends, because the MMA gods hate me, they're all like UFC casuals and the occasional UFC hardcore. No Bellator hardcores.
Here we go. I was just about to put the fucking Bellator B up on the screen because I knew it was
Bellator hardcore. Wow.
Yeah, I should, but I'm like the only Bellator hardcore. But anyway, that's all right. That will change. But the first fight, I love the first fight. He got his ass knocked out. He's trying to fight Daniel Cormier. And DC, until he gets too old and creaky to compete, I mean, he's had his whole career past his physical prime, if you think about that. He's one of the all-time greats. And he didn't even spend any of his physical prime even training in MMA. I mean, you can say the end of his physical prime was kidney failure, 2008. And then he's gone on to be one of the greats. That's my man. Hey, let me just give Dean some credit here for the Rembrandt lighting you got going on there.
Hell yeah, I agree. Let's give Dean some props. He looks way better than Muhammad over there.
Yeah, Muhammad's got that like hospital lighting. That's sickly.
Yeah, Muhammad's like, I'm in the hospital over here, guys. It's all good. I'm fucking sick, but I'm still here.
Without it, I would be a silhouette. Oh, actually, that's not so bad.
What's that? What poster you got in the back there, Muhammad?
It's Vanderlei. It's a signed Vanderlei poster.
You guys is Vanderlei Silva?
Yeah, but I signed it for him.
Yes. Oh, yeah, he came to Toronto.
It's got my signature on it. Yeah, he couldn't get the real thing.
Well, I was just going to say about DC that not only did he miss his physical prime for the most part, most of his career, but he didn't get to fight it at the natural weight class. People tell me he's not a natural heavyweight. Kiss my ass, he isn't. You know what I mean? I've watched that guy get down to 205, even when wrestling days when he had to get down to 211. He barely could make 211. He missed weight last Olympics. You know what I mean? And I just feel like he should have been a heavyweight the whole time. And then we're talking about one of the best heavyweights ever. I mean, I still think he's one of the greatest fighters ever, but I feel like he was kind of robbed of this heavyweight prime. Mohammed, what do you think?
I got to go with DC. First fight, I also picked him just because he's, always looked so great at heavyweight. And also, don't mean to diminish Stipe's accomplishments, but he just seemed to have run into really favorable circumstances again, or maybe he made them favorable to him. But like Fabricio running face first, like sprinting after him behind no punches. Alistair dropping him and jumping on the guillotine. And then
Alistair dropped him in that fight, right?
Dropped him. And then even Dos Santos,
he gets hit a lot.
Like having him limping in the first half of the first round, and then just being unable to like actually maintain whatever he was doing, and then getting caught with his hands down. So yes, the most accomplished heavyweight champion, but I feel like luck or circumstances were definitely on his side. And I think DC, the first fight was an accumulation of all the damage he took in the Stipe fight. I mean, in the Francis fight. And then also DC is just so fast and so well-rounded. And he comes from a good, well-rounded background. So I was expecting him to start wrestling right away. But to see the first round knockout was really unexpected. So I think now DC has even more confidence. I hope that we see a little bit leaner DC, because he was really, really pudgy last time. And in this one, I hope we see some like him in shape where he can apply constant pressure, because he's never been the type to just like be able to blast takedowns other than that ankle pick he did on Derek Lewis. But like it's the chaining, but he wasn't even going after the takedowns that much. So like even round 2, round 3, if it goes that deep, we see him start to chain his takedowns together and actually tire Stipe out. DC's not the type to make those mistakes like Overeem and Fabricio or Junior Dos Santos made. And he's going to stay in there unless he gets caught with a left like high kick, which I did see Stipe drilling.
Okay.
Because, everybody sees him constantly ducking.
Oh, yeah, Rumble caught him with it way before Jones did.
Yeah, and Jones did, and he was doing it still in the Stipe fight throughout. Every time Stipe threw a 1-2.
Jones caught him with the steroid needle leg.
Yeah. It's just a big syringe sticking out. But yeah, so I think in this fight, DC definitely takes it, but I agree with one of the earlier picks that we do see it go a little bit deeper in the rounds this time. So I'd pick maybe third round, 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
All
with
right, my man.
That's
Has
what's
Miocic,
up. Hey,
I
got to steal the floor back because I didn't finish my shit.
Yeah.
All right, and then we're going to Clay after you. Go ahead.
All right. So anyway, the first fight, my UFC casual friends have me half convinced that Stipe might win. Like I'm definitely cheering DC. He's one of my like 4 or 5 favorite fighters who's still active. You know what I mean? Like
with Rocco.
But they have me sort of like wondering because Stipe is good and he's big as shit. DC's getting old, but DC looks magical, and I think he's gonna smash him just as bad or even worse. He's too good. His hands are too good. And if you're a big guy who can't get your head out of the way of DC, you're getting fucked up.
Yeah.
Jones is a special kind of problem as far as range finding. Stipe isn't that kind of problem. And I agree with what Muhammad said. I'm shocked, but I agree with Muhammad. Like Verdum, just like, let me just run at you doing the jazz hands and let's see what happens. Well, you know what's going to happen. He's a big guy who can punch going backwards. You got fucked up. But that's
one of my favorite fights.
Cormier, that's a whole different game.
That's one of your favorite fights, Clay? Didn't you think that it was one of the dumbest mistakes ever by Verdum?
Oh, yeah. He did the same thing in the Volkov fight. Every once in a while, Verdum will just say, fuck it, and just start running towards his opponent.
It's weird because it was in front of his home crowd and everything. And it's like, here I go. On the way to lose my title.
You guys ready? Here you go.
Do you think it's because his one loss in his run after Fedor to Overeem, like at the third round of that fight, like made up for the first 2 rounds where he was getting thrown around. I think he was injured. But then he just started letting shit go, and it worked for him in that fight, although he didn't win the decision. So now maybe when it's tough in a fight, he just flashes back to when it worked against Overeem. He's like, I need to be...
Clay,
that was like the first 10 seconds.
I was going to say, wasn't it less than a minute, that fight?
No, it wasn't the first 10 seconds. It was like 50 seconds in or something like that. Yeah, it was Stipe.
Yeah, Stipe.
It was also his first fight since he got the title after like 2 years because he pulled out with like up
to it where he was like completely letting it go, and Travis had just moved to Edmund's gym, so he didn't do a single thing that put Fabricio in trouble in any of those fights. So Verdum was throwing like body kicks and spinning around and doing kip ups and stuff.
Mhm.
So
Yo, that kip was one of the sickest things of all time. I don't give a fuck. That's like probably a top 5 fuck you moment.
Oh, the
It's not
fight
better than
after?
Diaz.
for a heavyweight, for a heavyweight to be doing that in the middle of a fight.
To kip up in the middle of a heavyweight fight, no, that's some serious shit.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
that's almost as good as Nick clowning Anderson.
Yeah.
That was amazing, though. There's nothing beats that.
I do gotta say,
Nothing.
I think that Stipe is going into this this bout with the same mindset that we're talking about with Verdum. I feel like he feels like, Verdum felt kind of untouchable. I felt like,
Yep.
man, he wasn't really feeling. So these guys get to where their last 2 or 3 fights, I'm getting hit with punches and I'm not going down or nothing, right? I feel like Stipe really feels like it was the luckiest shot. Everyone has a button. He happened to find my button, but it'll never happen again.
There was no luck.
Just that mentality alone, I feel like is you at especially with DC. Once he figures out your fucking space and your timing, and he starts going forward with his hands, you're in fucking trouble. I don't care if you're 6'6" or 5'10" or what you are. You know what I mean? I do hope that we see, like Muhammad said. I know that DC was 240 the other day when he did an interview. And I think that's lighter than he came in last time.
Yeah.
And
He
so
was near the limit last time, wasn't he?
really
Pouring
close.
out of his shorts.
Really close, yeah. And he looked like it too. He didn't look, So I do hope we see a little bit more of the fight, of course. But I also hope that I see. I'd like to see DC beat him up a little bit. I mean, I kind of feel the same as DC's been feeling about Stipe being a whiner. Like, all you had to do was take another fight somewhere along the line instead of crying about Brock Lesnar, because if he would have won that fight, he would have fought Brock Lesnar. We all know that.
Yeah.
No, I doubt it. I bet they would have had someone else fight. They would have had Greg, the piece of shit Hardy, fight
They were going to have
Brock Lesnar or
come
something.
in that ring regardless. DC, people have talked about it.
No, with Stipe, DC's like the famous for being a wrestling fan. It works with them, It wouldn't work with the other. They'd find someone else. I really believe that. They'd drag someone else out.
They claim
Jones would fight him.
DC claims that they both talked about it at the Ultimate Fighter house, that they talked about it. And Dean, before I let you make your pick, fuck you for wearing that shirt, all right?
You
Show
like it?
everyone the shirt.
What does it say? Oh, that's nice.
That is dope,
Nice.
man.
I can't quite read it. It's too small. Does it say rising titties?
It does, man. My mom ironed that on for me.
Your mom did?
That's a tight shirt. That's a tight shirt, Rockhold.
That's how you got your blue belt and T-shirts, Dean? Was your mom or what?
No. I bought some industrial kind of commercial equipment. So yeah, hopefully be cranking out some dumbass.
Yeah, hell yeah. We'll be talking, but go ahead and on your pick on this main event here, and the first fight. Thoughts on the first fight?
I thought when he got the clinch, when he knocked him out, man, I was kind of surprised that Stipe's just his balance and his footwork looked kind of bad from the clinch. I watched that finishing sequence just so many times. I think DC's gonna maybe manhandle him a little bit more this time. He's probably gonna get the knockout round 3, round 4.
Did you expect DC to win the first fight?
I don't remember. I think I was just watching it thinking pretty even, just ready to just kind of enjoy it. I don't think I could really pick either way the first time, but now that I've seen it.
And is a lot of this because Stipe hasn't fought again? Do you guys think if Stipe would have fought Derek Lewis or something, that maybe this would change your opinion a little bit?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. I just think I haven't seen enough after his run. Again, the Francis fight was great, but the other ones, none of those guys and the decisions they made during the fight hold a candle to how technically sound and polished DC is in every facet of the game.
That's a great point, Muhammad. And I just want to point out that I know that you're not a hater and you're a really big fan of MMA, but to Stipe fans, and Clay, you could probably relate to this, but to a lot of Stipe fans, that'll come across as like, oh, you're diminishing his title run. And it's like, no, not really. If DC went through those same guys like that, I would say the same thing. I just don't see that narrative being pushed very much about how Verdum ran into the shot, how Overeem rocked him, tried to put him in the guillotine, and
he tapped. He tapped too.
Oh god, you know something's fucked up when you got whole Twitter accounts dedicated to it, huh?
StipeTap.com.
How fucked up is it that like the Athletic is putting out like just straight PR garbage, and StipeTap.com is like putting out the realest news in 2019.
Oh yeah.
Isn't it? You know, I
And
haven't
Middle
shout out to Stipe Taps. They're funny on Twitter. I follow them.
Yeah, I mean,
it's mostly UFC oriented, but I don't care. You know,
yeah,
I mean, most of my Twitter is
they
I'm
put
just
out good
searching
articles.
Bellator.
They put out good articles. They put out good gifs and memes and shit. And
I speak to them all the time. They follow me. I'll DM them right now. I'll tell them that we're talking about.
Hell yeah, tell them shit. We shouted them out. Mr. Uncle Joe.
Yeah, man, they're badass.
Mr.
It's badass. It's
400,000
fun.
view video over here is all, I talked to him. I'll talk to him right now. Fuck, you know what? I'll message Gabby Garcia right now, son of a bitch.
Fuck yeah.
Do it. The queen. Hey, and I don't give a fuck. Like, what the fuck is wrong with MMA fans to where Gabby isn't rightly hailed as the openweight queen of the world? Like, is she the most badass woman in the world? Yeah, she probably fucking is. People are like, she's so big. Yes, she's so big. She's also an expert grappler. That's why she beat your fucking small ass, your tiny asses.
There's some other
She's
good girls.
good.
There's some other girls at that
And
age.
she did not get.
Dean,
Why don't we
She fought a
save this for the
200-pound
Rizin
kickboxer.
talk?
What's
I
that?
can ask you, Dean, we should go. You interested to go to that ADCC? It's in fucking Anaheim. That's not too far away.
That's pretty far.
End of September.
That's pretty far.
Whatever. Look at this fucking stoner here. He's all outside. It's too far.
He's got to stay and smoke ganja with his dog. He's got to
Fuck
cater to his stoner
That's
dog.
sick. I wish I could smoke weed
By
with my
myself.
fucking dog.
Are you gonna hop in if somebody gets injured? Maybe you'll get in that. Maybe Zach will be in the absolute like Chael Sonnen was one year.
No, I'm gonna sit in
Do it, man.
level seats, nice and comfortable with my little butt cushion, like an old person, right? Like a grandma brings to a basketball game. When I go to my daughter's games, I bring like one of those cushions and shit. You know what I mean?
Do you have a man bag?
Yeah, but you know what?
Like a travel pouch?
I've never sat down to pee, so let's just make that clear. If you sit down to pee, then everything gets way worse in your life. So
It's all over at that point.
I had some friends recently admit it, and I was like, y'all are really admitting to sitting down to pee? Anyway.
Do you know what's crazy?
How did we
is,
get
like,
from this from the Cormier fight?
Oh, that's what's up. Look at this. He's ready to go fight Tito.
Clay, that's why. I think Stipe sits down to pee, all right, with all his fucking whining and complaining about this bullshit. Oh,
and I think he gets his fucking wife to wipe his ass. That's what I think is going on.
It could be possible. You know what? And it's like, I never disliked Stipe at all. In fact, I enjoyed watching him for the most part. I mean, I can't
Like I'm wearing it.
right, for shit. I don't know if you saw the interview MMA Fighting did with him today, but it's a guy that you can understand less than it's Stipe.
Man, I think he knocked maybe a lisp out of him or something.
Yeah.
You ever see his Twitch stream? It's kind of funny. People kind of get mean on there, though. They're always like, I can barely hear you, Stipe.
UFC's Twitch stream?
Yeah, he's got a Twitch stream.
Oh, he's got his own.
Yeah.
And people talk shit to him or what?
Sometimes people go in there not knowing who he is, and they're just like, I can't hear you very well. Can you turn up your mic or something? He's like, he gets closer to his mic, and people are like, sorry, we still can't understand you.
What language are you speaking?
He just sounds like he's gurgling all the time. Like, clear your throat, bro. Like, is everything okay? You know what I mean?
Did you see that embedded?
Fucking Dean weed.
The embedded with Stipe at the fucking flea market.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Comedy gold.
Oh my god.
He's trying to haggle with the guy, and he goes the wrong way the first time.
yeah. You know, and before he fought DC, I used to watch a lot of Stipe just because he would always fuck with his wife and hang up on his wife and then embedded.
Yeah.
And he's actually a funny dude, but he totally flipped the script when it was like he didn't. He let his fans paint the narrative. All of a sudden, it's all about the eye pokes. None of us mentioned that. You realize that? If you go onto MMA forums right now, find me 5 guys who aren't going to mention fucking eye pokes in the first
all over, all over those fights.
Nobody mentions it, but when you watch it though, like you can see like Cormier flicking his fingers in one of those.
For sure, there was eye pokes. There was an eye poke.
I'm not saying like he does it all the time. I'm just saying like in one of those you can clearly see it happen.
100%. I'm not saying there was no eye pokes. There was an eye poke, a thumb by Stipe to DC. And DC got warned a few more times for his hands. But there's no doubt. I'm just saying that we didn't mention it as far as like the result of the bout, because we all know MMA better than that. You know what I mean? That was just a one-time thing. That was sort of like Jorge Masvidal, right? You know, a trained thing. He knew he was going to pull out of that clinch with his arms down.
Yeah.
He was clear as day. He saw it. I wish he wouldn't have said it, though. If he knew he was going to rematch him, why the hell would you tell him? He told him in the post-fight press conference, hey, Stipe, you need to work on this, you know, and he was all my friend. And now they're totally not.
Because it'll make the takedown easier. If he reminds him to keep his hands up, it'll make it easier for DC to get underneath.
That's true. That's true. You picked him for submission?
Huh?
You picked him for submission?
Yeah, I picked him for submission.
He did. I picked a KO in the third, if I'm not mistaken. Third,
would you pick?
When in the third, man? Come on now. When in the third?
He picked 244, I think.
Oh, 245. I said 245.
245. Dean, would you pick?
Oh, you're changing your shit up.
Yeah, third or fourth round KO.
And it's T.
Oh, this is going to be like a 45-second fight. It's going to be DC with a flying knee, Romero style, or a karate chop, or like a what's it called, a bonsai? You know, where you slap the jab down, then you back fist him. It's going to be some Bruce Lee, DC Bruce Lee all day. 35-second fight.
Yeah,
35.555 seconds.
I could see a couple back rakes coming. You know what I mean? Since DC. Like,
no, I see like an atomic butt drop and then like a submission, but I don't see that.
I feel like since he's like, hey, everyone's watching out for the eye pokes, I'm just going to give him the back rake. You know?
Yeah.
Back rake.
This shit'll work. Let's
go. Or like the Ric Flair chop, you know, the big backhand.
Hey, can you make those dogs be quiet, please? For real, I was thinking DC's probably going to, like Muhammad said, maybe take him down and wrestle a little bit more this time. I would like to see him put him in a Rumble Johnson Part 2 headlock where he pulls up on his forehead and puts him in the headlock. Those are always fun to watch when you watch a guy manhandle a dude and, you know, pull up on your forehead. You got no choice.
He's got a big ass head too.
Because if we get Stipe tapping, then that helps the website that we're just shouting out, right?
That's right. That's
Absolutely.
right. You know what they're cheering for.
Let's get it. Stipe tapping. Let's go. All of us will it into fucking existence. Yeah, man.
That sounds reasonable.
All right. So everyone's good on their picks, or what? Or anyone want to change one?
Yo, Clay, how you doing over there, man? Over on the side screen.
Yeah, I don't have a camera. I feel left out.
It's all right. You'll be all right. Steve doesn't have a camera either. What the fuck?
Did he pick? Clay, did you pick?
Yeah, I already picked. I said Cormier submission, second round.
Oh, okay.
And
second round. Oh, nice.
Fucking the newcomer guest who's got more views than you'll ever have in your life on YouTube. that and the fact that he at least he tried to have a camera. You don't even try.
I got a really good microphone though. So
yeah, he's got the best microphone of anybody. So don't be talking shit behind his back, Muhammad, texting me and shit. It's crazy. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, Clay. I don't mean fucking for my friends to harass you here. It's just kind of fucked up.
No, it's all right. I don't care.
All right, can you guys see this bout card? Or
oh yeah, we can see it.
Or what are we doing?
Oh yeah.
Main event time, huh? We got past the prelims.
Fuck.
All right. I'll start this first one off. Ryuji Horio against Ushu Sakurai. Let me tell you, Sakurai is 16 years old. This is a kickboxing bout. And I believe Horio is 26, somewhere around there. But I know that Sakurai is 16. Off bat, I'm taking the 16-year-old because I think it would be awesome to see a 16-year-old win at Rizin. He might be 17 now. But what you got on this one, Muhammad, since Dean left?
I'll go with Sakurai. Just with you. Second coming of fortune.
That's right.
I don't know either of these guys. There you go. The age is enough.
Age is enough. Deep?
Yeah, I'll go whatever Muhammad says, just use more flowery verbiage.
All right.
I'll pick the same thing he does. No, I have no opinion.
No, we're going to kind of run through these first ones because people may not know many of these fighters. But, Clay, you have an opinion on this one?
I'm going Sakurai just because he's 16. I think that's incredible. 2003? That's crazy.
Did you fact check that for me?
Yeah, he was
Yeah, I
born
was gonna say,
2003,
I feel like
January
the biggest
1st.
bag ever. I'm putting out a Rizin podcast here, and I'm all, this kid's 16, and then I put it out, and he's like 28, right? I'm all, whoops.
No. He's 16. You're good.
No, I knew he was 16. Uh, all right, second kickboxing fight. And let me ask you guys this. How many kickboxing fights do you enjoy on a 12 to 13 bout Rizin card?
All of them. I think it's the best cards are when they have a bunch of kickboxing. Like the last one was amazing. There was like 4 stoppages in a row.
I can't disagree. I love the kickboxing fights. I just talked to Alicia Zapatella. I don't know if you guys checked that out, but she said those are her favorite parts of Rizin. She's a wrestler, right?
Yeah.
And so that's a little bit crazy. So second kickboxing fight is Shota Takaya against Kazuki Osaki. I do know a little bit about Osaki. Smaller guys, 53 kilograms.
He's 22.
I'm going to take Osaki in this one. I believe I watched him fight, I want to say either at Shoot Boxing or Rise. I can't remember. Anyway, I'm taking Osaki. Who you got for this one, Clay? I know
Looking at Osaki's record right now, he fought at King of Knockout. That's probably where you saw him.
Okay, knockout. Yeah. If that would
He's coming
help.
off of 2 losses, so 2 decisions.
What
Two
is-
decisions.
What is Takaya coming off of?
Hold on.
See, this helps. You guys see? Look,
He's just coming off of
finally
he
got a
fought
person-
at Rizin 12.
Hold
and
on,
he's coming off
okay.
of a decision.
I just want to tell Clay how valued he is. I finally got a person after all this time that actually does something besides me. Like, this is fucking amazing. All these.
Oh yeah, I got 2 monitors going at once.
I know, but all these other guys are just looking into space. Muhammad's watching porn. Teeb's fucking playing with dogs. Fucking Dean's turning his light on and off for some reason. I have no idea what's going on. Me and Clay are the only ones fucking engaged. Jeez. Anyway, Takaya,
I don't blame you guys. These guys are pretty obscure.
Who does Shota fight at the last Rizin?
He fought Todo Sato,
Oh shit! Okay, all right,
and he won a decision over him.
all right. I do remember that fight. Dean got up before we could ask him for his pick. So, all right, we're gonna go with Ai Shimizu against Tabitha Watkins. Tabitha Watkins, I believe she fights in Invicta, but she is teammates of Alicia Zapatella later on in the card. But Ai Shimizu is a crazy bee fighter, trains with Miyu Yamamoto. I'm taking Ai Shimizu, who's also really young, but I believe she's 21, 22, something like that. Anyway, I'm taking Shimizu. Who you guys got?
I'm going with I as well.
Teep?
Hello.
Muhammad.
I'll go with I.
I got to look at Teep's picture, and he's not even there. That's fucking worse than looking at Dean's empty room.
Yeah, I don't know if he's getting robbed right now. He was sitting in his car. I don't know if some cops
Probably
pulled him
smoking
on
with
him.
his dog.
Exactly. That terrible lighting.
Did you guys see that the popular Fortnite player got, like, swatted or whatever they call that shit?
The guy that won like the World Cup or whatever. Yeah, I saw that.
So what's the
Fortnite World Championship or something.
So they did it to him because he was kicking people's asses, or what?
No, he's just streaming. They just swatted him.
That's weird. What a weird thing. That never didn't exist when I was a kid. Dean, we got Ai Shimizu against Tabitha Watkins. Tabitha Watkins, teammate of Alicia Zapatella, and Ai Shimizu fighting out of Crazy Bee, Miyu Yamamoto.
I like how Crazy Bee's style adapts to the ring, man. I think that could be the difference. So I'm gonna go with I.
I wish Yusuke could agree with you, but unfortunately, Mikuru Asakura put an end to that.
Yeah.
No offense to anybody. I love you all. I just don't ever want to get on Mikuru's bad side. I think we talked about this last time. So next fight, Takaki Soya. Was this the guy who fought Shota, Clay? Or no? Was it Soya or was it?
Soya fought Kawahara at Rizin 16.
Okay. I remember he was the one who had the brutal.
Yeah, it was
knockout.
like soccer kick.
One
Yeah.
punch KO and then followed by soccer kick.
Yeah, and I saw a lot of people on Reddit that were like, "Oh, is that really necessary?" Yeah, it is actually. Yeah.
Like Jorge said,
Super
it's
necessary.
Super necessary. Oh, yeah. Dean, who you got in this one, Soya or Muramoto?
Soya, man, I gotta always go with the soccer kicks.
Man, that soccer kick was beautiful. Did you get offended by it, or
No, of course not.
how did you feel afterwards? Did you feel warm inside?
Little hard. I was like half mast.
Aroused.
Yeah, I feel the same. Teep is somewhere with his dog, probably feeling the same right now.
I think I got banned from a chat room for spamming after that knockout because it surprised the hell out of me. It was
What were you
crazy.
spamming? Just holy shit or what?
Yeah, holy shit.
Yeah, that was badass.
It's crazy.
Like I said, I just read a lot of comments that were like, "Oh, he would have stopped him already. The ref should have got in there sooner. Was it necessary?" And I'm like, "Yeah, welcome to Japanese MMA, asshole." And kickboxing. Completely necessary to fuck people up when they're on their way down.
But yeah, I'm going with Soya, if I didn't say that before.
I don't know what happened to Teep, but Muhammad, who you got?
Same. So yeah,
And Dean took
hard to deny that one punch KO, and I think he's gonna get another finish.
That was a beautiful highlight. I'd love to watch it again. All right, this next fight is pretty damn intriguing because I feel like both these guys need a win. Kazuma Sone was supposed to fight Ursin Yamamoto on this card. I don't know why that fell out. But he's fighting Justin Scoggins, who last time we seen Scoggins was getting put in one of the meanest TP chokes a person will ever see against Yuki Matoya. Unbelievable choke. I think that was Rizin 14. But Dean, I'm going to go to you on this one. Scoggins or Kazuma?
Yeah, this is a better match for Scoggins. This is definitely a more winnable fight for him. So I think this is where he can get on the Rizin map.
I would agree with that. Mohammed?
Same. I got to go with Scoggins. He's faced
Yeah.
higher level competition, and I think he's going to do well.
And Clay?
Yeah, Scoggins coming out of the UFC. I think he definitely has an easier fight coming next Saturday.
I kind of feel like he needs to win this because, getting choked out by Matoya and then possibly if you get submitted here, are you going to get put back in Rizin? You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
kind of feel like he's kind of in a situation where he must win. This next fight is going to be the winner or the most impressive performance, I should say, because for those that don't know, Rizin doesn't always select the winner to go on to the next round. Because if you're boring and you outpoint the fighter, as we all know, they don't give a damn. So this next bout is actually for a spot in the lightweight tournament. I just read recently, Mike Skeidel on Twitter, I believe, was the one who broke that news. But it's Roto against Yves Landu. I don't know too much about Landu. Clay, can you help me out there on what his last fight was? Maybe help the group out?
He won a decision in Octo fight. It was May 4th.
And how about Oroto? I believe that he was Rizin 14. Didn't he fight at Rizin already?
Yeah, I believe so.
I think so too.
Actually, no, he's not.
No,
He's
I
not.
don't think so. Yeah.
He's fought in Pancrase. He's
Deep
coming
in
over from
Pancrase.
Pancrase.
Okay. So he's coming over from Pancrase. Who was his last fight in Pancrase, if you still got it pulled up?
It was oh god.
Oh, I'll get this one. I'll take this one.
Yeah.
Salim Khan Sadulov,
Oh, see? This is what Muhammad's here for. Damn, that was good, Muhammad.
the ethnic names.
Hey, man,
That would have been a meme if I tried to pronounce that.
Hey, you know what, Clay? Let me tell you, it happens to me all the time, and sometimes it happens while I'm talking to a fighter, and it's like, oh fuck, I'm the most embarrassed person ever. But it's like, hey, can't help myself. I'm a dumb American. Forgive me. You know what I mean? Anyway, I like I said, I just haven't seen. I don't think very much footage of Landu at all. I mean, little tiny highlights here and there just from Googling it. Dean, you know anything about Landu?
I want to say he had one opponent I had recognized, maybe a couple that I had recognized. And I want to say I liked his I can't remember off the top of my head. I liked his strength of schedule a little bit better. So I was going to go Landu by decision.
Okay, I'm going to take Hiroto in this one. Mohammed, who'd you take?
I'm taking Eve just because I recognize more of his names. Like some people went on to the UFC. Mehdi Baghdad, he didn't do too well in the UFC, but like he was there and he has a win over him, and just he's fought a lot in M1, so lots of Russian dudes, and I think that's just stiffer competition than
Can somebody tell me
his opponent.
What his country is? What is that flag?
What? Oh, France.
France?
Right? Yeah. He's
You
French.
didn't know that was
so
France?
Even this
Hey,
last
man.
one
I told
was
you,
up
I'm
to
dumb
like
American.
France.
It's Japan, bro.
I know what Japan is, and I know what the USA is. Freedom all the way.
God bless.
No, I'm not great with flags, but I'm good with countries and stuff. But I'm not the flags. I mean, here's my problem. Look at John Wayne Parr right there, right? The Hawaiian flag, the Australian flag, and the British flag. I don't understand anything about any of them and why they look so similar. And nobody's ever been able to explain it. I listen to Michael Bisping, and he doesn't even explain it, right? What the hell? Not the British flag in the Hawaiian flag what the hell's going on here? Anyway, I don't want to make fun of people's flags in their countries, but geez, I don't know what to say about that. So Clay, did you pick this fight, Hiroto and Landu?
Yeah, I picked Eve.
Okay. Next we got Horiguchi against Jared the Monkey God Brooks, making his Rizin debut. Should be pretty interesting fight here. Muhammad, I'll let you take this one.
Yeah, I had what's his name? Jared Brooks. Just strength of schedule, and he's like fresh out of the UFC, and it's not even like he lost too many. So he's just looked really, really strong. And I think just that background is just going to be too much for, what's his name? Horiguchi, I guess, to handle.
You got an opinion on Monkey God?
Yeah, I think I think it's going to be a very dominant fight because he's like the number 15 flyweight in the world. And he's coming straight out of the UFC. I think he's going to try and make it a big show. And it's not really like one championship. He's probably going to whoop the guy. So, yeah, I'm going with Brooks.
Dean, because we don't have teep. It's just his dumb face.
Yeah, I have Brooks as well. I like the elbows allowed too. I think he'll be able to utilize those.
Well, let me tell you guys all something. You guys are all wrong, okay? Because Brooks is going to win. He's on a 7-fight win streak. He comes from deep. He beat Kawahara as well. But, yeah, 7-fight win streak. Fought Rizin 16-15 or something. Looked real impressive there. Yeah, the Monkey God's dreams are going to get smashed by Ochi. Just so you guys know. You guys are all wrong. All right, we got it.
Okay.
Kana Sakura against Alicia Zapatella. Let me ask you guys this question. First, I asked Alicia this herself. If Alicia wins this fight, does it put her in contention to be next in line or fight for a title shot because Kana Sakura?
I think they booked Miu and
Yeah. I mean, after say that she wins this. If she wins one more against maybe the loser of Miu and Ham or something.
Yeah. She's definitely up there.
Yeah, Kana's one of the best. So yeah.
So it catapults her up there that quick. I mean, because she's only 5-1 in Invicta, but she has beat some pretty tough girls, and she only lost by unanimous decision. This is a tough fight for me because Alicia's got really good wrestling. So does Kana Sakura, of course. But Kana Sakura needs this win. I mean, she's lost 2 in a row, of course, to the champion and then to Miu. But if you listen to anything she said, she needs this win, and for that reason, I lean towards her a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Mohammed?
I got to go with Alicia. She just that wrestling background is too much to deny, and she's also very physically imposing. She's very TST. So I think definitely that could make a big difference because Kana has the credentials, but she's not very physical. And in terms of gifted or whatever. So got to go with Alicia on this one.
And this is 49 kilograms is 108 pounds, right? Is that correct, Dean?
Super atom weight.
Yeah, is that 108 though? Not 105, right? It's 108.
Yeah.
Alicia told me how much of a difference her body feels from like 112 to 108. If you guys heard anything she said, she's had to fight as high as 125 in China, and she had to gain weight to get there. She had to gain weight to get up to 115, and she said that the difference in her body at 112 and 108 or 105 is a huge difference. And so in Invicta, I believe she was fighting at 105, right? Isn't Invicta's atom weight 105?
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, and so this is 108, and so I think she was talking to me about how the 3 pounds are a big difference. And to all of us, you know, dudes that are fucking badasses and don't do shit. It doesn't seem like a lot, but imagine if you're only a little bit over 100 pounds, 3 pounds is a pretty big percentage of your weight. You know what I mean?
See that UFC girl that just cut, like, they announced her, like, her weigh-ins?
Aspen Ladd, they suspended her license.
Dude, she cuts more weight than me.
Well, yeah, she like nearly passed out on the scale during her last
yeah,
fight.
she was like shaking. She was having tremors
Yeah.
while she was weighing in.
And what weight
Super
did she
scary.
fight at?
Dude, she cut from like 159 to 135.
Jesus.
Well, because I saw that they suspended her because she was over, I think, 160 or something the night of the fight, right? Or close to it.
It was just the athletic commission. So I don't know. Maybe she can go and fight somewhere else. I don't know.
Yeah, just California. She's going to fight in
Look
Washington.
at like dudes that are cutting from like what like a welterweight dude cuts from.
Yeah.
You know? Like that's the kind of cut she's doing.
Oh.
That's crazy. I mean, because we've all heard about like the Marlon Moraes and stuff that people are saying they're cutting from 200 plus sometimes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, and then going down to like fucking 35 and shit. I mean, you could tell he's a big guy. But yeah, I mean, some of these weight cuts are crazy, but they're a lot harder for women from what I understand. You know what I mean?
Like, what do you think like Ben Askren walks around at?
You know, he's a different kind of case because even when he cuts to his weight, he still looks like, you know, pretty much the same.
But not even percentage wise, just literal numbers.
I'd probably just say 20 pounds heavier.
Yeah, she cuts more pounds than like guys that fight at welterweight.
And like, but she didn't even look that like she wasn't even like crazy ripped. Like who's that girl in Bellator? Julia Budd, their champ.
Yeah,
like she's like completely shredded. Aspen Ladd wasn't even like as ripped. So I think a lot of that is just like I guess maybe bad like strategy.
Yeah, something.
Like bad management.
But you know what? You just said Bellator and Teep didn't appear, and so he must really
something
be
definitely.
Yeah, he must be gone.
Yeah, because that word right there usually makes him come right out and fucking
wake up.
You have to say it in the mirror 3 times.
Yeah, right. And he'll come out and have like 5 sentences to say, and he'll tell you the card for the next 4 fucking.
They gotta make a Halloween movie on that.
So everyone's picking Zapatella is what you're telling me?
Yeah, sadly.
Yeah, I'll pick her.
Wow. See,
I love Kana Asakura. I love her style.
Me too, and that's why I always, you know, as you guys know, have a hard time picking because I enjoy it and I try to talk to all these fighters that I can, and you know, but the only reason I'd lean towards Kana Asakura is because she, like I said, she needs this a little more. I feel like, I mean, Zapatella, don't get me wrong, she could use this and she's hungry for it, but I feel like Kana knows that she needs this bout. Losing 3 in a row is not a good look for her, and we've seen how devastated she's been from losing in the past, you know. And so yeah, I kind of feel like she needs this, and so for that reason, I'll kind of lean there. And then we got our wonderful intermission. Anyone got to get up and take a pee or anything fun? We're almost done.
No, I'm good. Seems like Teep went to the bathroom and never came back.
You know what's funny is that a lot of websites always put all the bouts before the intermission as the prelims. And it's like, no, sorry.
Really?
Have prelims. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't like that websites do that because those aren't prelims. There's no such thing. You know?
I like to think they have like early prelims because sometimes they might have maybe 1 or 2 fights and then the opening ceremony.
Yeah, they do. And a lot of times those are kickboxing fights, right? And so
yeah, I like to think those are just like the appetizers.
This bout here is probably one of the hardest bouts for me to choose, and it's not because John Wayne Parr is not a legend. It's because Danilo Zanolini is really, really good too. Dean, I know you got some thoughts on this one.
I love John Wayne Parr, man. He's so crazy, and damn, maybe didn't they have Andy Sauer for a little bit? That would have been like a crazy MMA rules match. I know they gave him a few MMA matches. So yeah, I like John Wayne Parr. I think he's going to get it done. He's really going to be in his element here.
I think it's been 10 years since he's fought in Japan, I think is what he said. But he's had many, many bouts in Japan and just a legend of the sport. But,
he's a cool guy to listen to. He's
really cool, man. But I'm telling you, Zanolini's tough. Clay, can you tell me how old Danilo is?
Hold on. He's 39.
And what's John Wayne Parr?
He's 43.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mohammed, what do you think about this one?
John Wayne Parr, just because he's he's such a fan favorite, and I've seen him. He was in Toronto. His daughter had one of her first Muay Thai fights here, so at like a Muay Thai Ontario event. So that was pretty cool. So I got to go just with that. My familiarity with him, I got to go with John Wayne Parr.
Play?
Yeah, I'm going with John Wayne Parr as well. He's a legend.
Yeah.
I like that this is the 5th from the last bout, and it's another kickboxing bout, right? I hope that we start to see some of these higher level kickboxing bouts higher up in the card like this, because this is, I mean, you know, this fight could be the co-main event, to be honest with you guys, right? No disrespect to Ayaka or anything, but this is, you know, 2 really good high level kickboxers. All right, that brings me to Manel.
I like to think this could be the co-main event.
I
Kid
agree.
versus
Prodigy
Mizugaki.
Against Takea Mizugaki. If you guys don't know, Manel Cape said he's going to retire. With respect, he's going to retire Mizugaki. Clay, what do you think about this one?
Oh yeah, I think that's definitely gonna happen. I think Mizugaki. What was his last fight? Do you guys know?
Man, you're supposed to be the research guy over there, bro. Muhammad just sits there and looks into space, not the camera. So who knows what he's done?
Was it an ACB?
Let me
It's
look
a-
it up. Hold on.
It's a computer, okay?
Porn.
Shoji Maruyama at Deep 89, and it was a win for him by decision.
I watched that
Deep
fight.
in the red light district.
I should have known. So how many fights has he had since he's been out of the UFC?
4.
Were they
2
all on
losses,
Deep?
2 wins. And it was ACB and 3 in ACB, 1 in Deep.
Okay, I watched the Deep fight. I might have watched one of the ACB fights. So he was 2-2 in that time, is what you're saying?
Yeah. He lost to a bunch of Russians and then beat a bunch of non-Russians.
My problem here is that Mizugaki lost to Dominic Cruz by knockout. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
And when does Dominic Cruz ever knock anybody out? You
This
know?
reminds me of the last Rizin where they had those qualification bouts.
Oh, geez, all the old guys.
Yeah, we were talking
This
about
is like the one leftover one from that stack.
it is, yeah. It's like Hirota and
Oh, man. I knew you were going to say Hirota. I was going to mute your fucking microphone before you said Hirota because I fucking like Hirota. And I was like, you know what? This guy loses 3 or 4 in a row, but then he comes back and wins 5 or 6 in a row. And now he's talking about retirement, and I'm just sad. Let's not talk about Hirota anymore.
Mizugaki also got knocked out by Garbrandt and Eddie Wineland.
Yeah.
Cody, no IQ Garbrandt.
Yeah, and he also got choked out by Sterling.
Have you guys ever seen a guy with a lower IQ than Cody Garbrandt? Let's just be honest.
I loved his
Not in the Dominic Cruz fight.
Dominic Cruz fight, that just set the standard way too high for all
Never
of us
mind
in-
that
in
fight,
our
though,
mind.
because that's not the more
the build up to that fight. He was borderline retarded. Like if you listen to
I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna give you everything you got. I'll eat it.
look at your tie. Look at your tie. Like that was gonna be the guy to figure out Cruz is look at your tie.
I know.
I think a million years.
I know. Can you imagine if we would have saw one of those Dillashaw fights before he fought Cruz? I mean, you know, the fact was we were seeing him beat Mizugaki and guys like this, right? And we were like, yeah, Cody Garbrandt looks pretty good. And then he was just the dumbest IQ. Son
He
of
got no wheels. He can't run from me.
I just didn't understand it, man. Like, you don't train to okay, you got the guy rocked, so then you just start. I mean, you guys seen he closes his eyes when he throws.
And just right hook again and again.
Yeah, just right hook.
Sort of like what Verdun does,
Yeah, true. I'm gonna be in Dean's.
except not
corner.
nearly as severe.
Dean's making his comeback pretty soon to MMA. I'm gonna be in his corner, and that's what I'm gonna tell him. Just keep throwing right hooks, Dean.
Eyes
You see how
closed and straight
Verdun.
on. That's
Captain
the walkout
Americana's
mask.
coming back.
You should
That's the
probably
walkout
wear
mask.
that.
That's dope.
They'll
I
probably
thought about wearing this at the tournament and then like losing to a bunch of guys and then like having like the same clothes on later and taking it off and then be like, oh, what's up, man? Did you compete today? How'd it go? And like totally pretending it wasn't me.
You gotta hold off on that one until you fight in Rizin. That'd be like the classic.
They
thing.
would love that.
And the mask.
You can't really wear shit out of that mask. So
you know what I always liked is Kanako Murata, how she has their mask on her shirt, on the underneath side of her shirt. When she pulls it up and there's the mask. That shit is cool, man. And speaking of that, I want to see Kana Watanabe be back pretty soon. She is badass, man. I mean, that girl is superstar in the making, I think. Anyway, so we're all taking did you get to say anything about Manel Cape there, Clay? Favorite fighter, right?
Yeah, I'm picking Cape. I said he would dominate him.
That's your favorite fighter, you said, ain't it?
Yeah, in Rizin.
Let me ask you guys all this. How much do you guys think Manel Cape has grown since he fought Horiguchi?
His last fight was very impressive, yeah.
He survived pretty well. Horiguchi didn't put him away right away. It took him a little bit. So
he did quite well. I was really impressed with that fight.
He's always had the gameness.
I agree. I just think after the last fight, we saw what he's really capable of, and that was something we haven't quite seen from him. And his opponent was pretty good. And he looked really, really good. And, you know, just from seeing the way he trains and talking to the guy, he's super focused, and he's a young dude. And he's another one of these guys who, like Ishiwatari and all these guys, are aiming at Horiguchi, right? And so when you have that kind of goal in mind, it's like, I could see why he's saying that he's going to retire Mizugaki. So makes sense. Now we're going to go for La Mangosta, the Mongoose, Victor Henry, trained by one and only War Master Josh Barnett, against Trent Girdham, who is a really good fighter in his own right. This is a really tough fight. Mohammed, you want to take this one?
I got to go with Victor Henry because I'm not too familiar with Trent's resume. But, yeah.
He has some good fights in ACB. He's also fought some shoot boxing.
Yeah.
You know, in Japan.
Bama? Has he been in Bama, if I'm not mistaken?
I don't know that. I know that he had some other kickboxing or Muay Thai bouts. Dean, do you know?
Yeah, he's got pretty good stand-up. He'd have to just fight the perfect fight, though, against Victor Henry. Victor Henry rules, man. He's going to be the guy to watch. I think it's going to be his really time to shine at Rizin. So I'm looking forward to his Rizin debut a lot.
I believe Victor Henry's on a 6 or 7 fight win streak himself. And he's also still the Deep champion. He beat Yuki Motoya for the Deep championship in a really tough fight. That was a great fight. If nobody's seen that, that's on YouTube, on Deep's YouTube. It went it's 3 rounds, but it's 5 judges. Deep uses 5 judges. And that was really interesting because when it comes to split decisions, it seems like it's the right guy usually wins, you know? Yeah. Anyway, I agree with you guys. Victor Henry, he's so tough, but this Girdham's tough. I had somebody tweet me on Twitter a while back that I thought I'd mention about how he beat Girdham. It was just out of the blue. I don't know if I tweeted something about it, but somebody, and I can't remember the guy's name offhand, and I apologize, but he tweeted me about how he had beat Trent Girdham, and he felt like he was the one who should have got the shot in Rizin. So I don't know. I'll have to send that tweet to you guys. I can't remember the fellow's name, but anyway, by any means, Victor Henry across the board. Clay?
Yeah, I watched the recent Rizin Confessions, the one that just came out, and his front kicks to the body were incredible. It's just that one. What fight was that? I think it was a Nikita fight where he kicked him in the head when he was getting up. That was incredible. So I'm going with Victor Henry.
Like I said, being trained by Josh Barnett. I mean, look at how many good fighters he has. Look at AJ Bryant. He's fighting in LXF there. He was the CXF champion. I mean, you look at Alyssa Garcia, you know, you look at people like Carl Albrechtsen, who is training with Josh Barnett. It's just not a coincidence that people go train with Josh Barnett and they're really good, right?
Isn't Carl going to Bellator?
Yeah, he's in Bellator now.
Yeah.
From what I've heard is that they're supposed to have an event in Sweden later this year.
Oh, wow.
To make his debut.
Do you know if that Fedor versus Rampage thing is legit?
I don't know yet. I know that, I know that, like I said, Albertson talked a little bit. I got a podcast with him coming in a couple of days, and he talked a little bit about wanting to also still fight back in Japan. So from what I understand is that there's going to be quite a bit of cross promotion. And I think it's up to us fans, too, to voice our opinions on Twitter and say, hey, we'd like to see that. I mean, let me ask you guys, would you rather see Fedor and Rampage, or would you rather see Fedor and Barnett?
Probably Barnett.
Yeah, Barnett.
Dean?
I think they could do both. I think they've always had kind of Fedor Rampage in their back pocket for Japan, just to get some ticket sales. So I think for the right event, if they just need to kind of draw some people into some sort of like lightweight Grand Prix or some New Year's event, that's a perfect one for New Year's because they kind of like to blur those weight class lines. But for like your big blockbuster show when it's about the title or something, then yeah, Fedor Barnett would be great.
What has Rampage been doing? Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen him fight since what? Mo?
Eating, bro.
Gaming. Got his little stream.
I'm not going to say anything bad about Rampage. I'm just saying that. I'm just wondering what.
Can you blame him after the way he knocked out Vanderlei?
Oh, that was that his last fight?
Yeah,
I think so, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yep.
Must have been.
That seems forever ago.
How long
I
ago
can't even
was that?
remember.
Oh, that was like a year ago. Oh, jeez. Oh, that's gonna be really bad then. The return.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's like hard to pick. Fedor that got finished by a relatively light-looking hook from Ryan Bader.
Well, you know what though, Fedor.
Oh my god.
As we've seen in Fedor's recent fights, it's like doesn't look like he's warmed up very much. If you guys noticed this, like we've always talked about this in boxing, right? Like if you're not sweating and looking like you're warmed up when you come out, it looks to me like he's not that warmed up.
Taking it seriously?
And so it just seems like if he could get into a fight, maybe use his grappling a little bit, I think that he'd be able to take some of these shots that are putting him down. Would you guys agree?
He didn't even have his hands up during the Bader fight, so
that was weird.
He's got one of those looser styles. He's one of the more relaxed guys, Which
yeah,
Bader,
like always been down, like pretty low, but just like his chin, just unfortunate.
Well, don't you guys think that your chin isn't as good in the first minute of the fight as it might be if you grapple and get into the fight a little bit, or is that just me?
I don't think it really matters.
Nah.
All right.
Because like
a chin is a chin.
Of fights, like Frank Mir was hurting him and he survived. So I don't know, man. The only reason I want Barnett versus Fedor more is because Barnett's a bigger guy, a huge heavyweight name. We've waited years to see this. Fedor losing to another light heavyweight is just going to hurt a lot more. And Rampage hits really hard. Like he's slower. He's not as good. Not going to be as athletic or fast, but he doesn't need to be. Right. Fedor's going to stand right in front of him. They are going to trade. And Rampage still has a way, way better chin. He's not going to get finished. He's not like, even with huge shots, like he'll just like, and then come with a hook.
If they fought, you'd pick Rampage for sure, huh?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it would be much sadder. So that's why the Barnett thing, it's a big guy, so it's easier thing to kind of stomach.
Do you agree with that, Dean, that it would be much sadder?
Heavyweight Rampage, yeah. It's just got all the heavyweight Rampage, old Fedor, like it's just all the recipe for disaster. Imagine though if like Rampage had won one of those Grand Prix and they made this in like 05 or 06, they made some super fight. I think completely different story. Fedor could probably get the submission.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I kind of feel the same with Fedor and Barnett. Like we haven't seen that fight, but we're depending on what Barnett comes back looking like. But to me, I think that Barnett's still got a lot left in him. The UFC robbed him of a couple years, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I don't like the drug shit, is because they're robbing fighters and then they're like, oh, sorry, we made a mistake. Sorry for the last 2 years of your heavyweight prime, right?
Mm.
I mean, I'll never forgive them for things like that. Anyway, Victor Henry's a student. I think we all are pretty much thinking that he's probably going to take this. I think it's going to be a really tough fight. As we talked about the elbows being allowed, this changes a lot. Soccer kicks, Victor Henry kind of being familiar with Japan. Like I said, Trent has fought in Judo, but I don't know that he has much experience in Japan, whereas Victor Henry has the deep experience, deep champion. I could see him grinding out a finish late. You guys see that?
Absolutely, yeah. That shoot fighting style, the heavy, aggressive wrestling and shoot wrestling, definitely.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then so we're going to go to the co-main event, which for everyone wondering is not a title shot, not a title match. But it is the women's atomweight champion Ayaka Hamasaki against Amp the Rocket, and Muhammad knows her real name. I'm going to let him go ahead and tell you. What is Rocket's real name?
Suwanan Bunsarn.
Very good, sir. This girl's really tough, actually. And, they call her Amp the Rocket for a reason. Clay, do you know much about her? Have you seen her?
Nope. I've seen Hamasaki's last fight, but no, I've never seen Amp the Rocket.
Okay, let me ask you this. What did you think that she beat Jinyu Frey, Hamasaki?
I don't know. I think I'd have to go back and rewatch the fight.
Muhammad?
Hey, stop rubbing it in. You know that's the card I missed. Ryzen 16, you already rubbed it in.
I forgot.
You're gonna put me on the spot.
I forgot that you missed Ryzen 14. 15.
That was also like really late in the night, and I was about to pass out. So that's another reason to rewatch it.
Yeah, no doubt, definitely do. And any of the ones that are on Fight. I mean, I hear that they're going to start releasing some of the DVDs, some of the early DVDs. I know that they have the first 2 on DVD already. What we got was Breakfast with Fedor at that time, and it was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but they're going to release those. But Fight TV, I think, has 9 through the last 9 or something. Let me ask you, Dean, did you think Ayaka won against Jinyu Frey?
I did. I think she showed a lot of like the champion savvy, how when in a close fight, just to do the things you have to do to take the decision. Just that old timey Ric Flair mentality, man.
Well, I got there's some kind of Jinyu Frey stalker on Twitter, if you guys haven't noticed, and he tweets me every time I tweet about Ayaka in this fight, and he swears up and down, and other people too swear up and down that Jinyu Frey won that fight. And the closest I could say is, hey, in Invicta rules, maybe, right? In American rules where it's judged round by round, yeah, maybe, but in Japan, no. And it's not a take the title from the champ thing. I thought Ayaka just did enough at the end of the fight to show that she was a superior fighter on that night, right? Anyway, Amp the Rocket, what do you think about this one, Muhammad?
I got to go with Hamasaki just because Amp, she looks tough, but she's lacking in fight experience. And Hamasaki is not only has better fight experience, but way more Rizin experience and has faced people like Hana Sakura already. So, I mean, it's a real dive into the absolute deep end for what's her name?
Amp.
What's that nickname? Pocket Rocket? Amp the Rocket.
What do you got, Clay?
Yeah.
I'm going Hamasaki.
Dean?
Yeah, same. I do like seeing some of these girls come from Thailand, though. I think it's one of those last untapped markets that's actually going to do pretty well when they cross over.
I want to say that Amp fought her last fight at Deep Jewels, 24, I think. Maybe someone could check that for me, but I definitely watched.
Yeah, 23.
Okay, well, I definitely watched that fight, and she was impressive. And I thought at that time, wow. But just like Muhammad said, lack of experience, that's going to hurt against someone like Hamasaki, who's 36, 38 years old, been doing this for a long time. Let me ask you guys this now. We got an event in October, which looks like it's going to be Seohei Ham against Miyu Yamamoto for basically the winner of this, which is, like we're talking about, going to be Hamasaki. Who has the best chance in that fight, and who has the best chance to beat Hamasaki, Dean?
Seohei Ham, just with youth. You're talking about Miyu Yamamoto versus Seohei Ham?
Yes, versus.
Yeah, I would say Seohei Ham.
You think she has the best shot against Ayaka?
I don't know if she beats Miyu, but she has the better shot of those two to beat Hamasaki.
You got thoughts on that?
Yeah,
I agree.
Fight, it's difficult to pick against Miyu after how she's looked recently.
After the Kana Asakura fight, right? I mean, nobody really expected her to do that. I thought she was going to slip into submission or something, But
I definitely picked against her. Yep, I thought she was going to get armbarred or something.
On a 4-fight win streak and looked better than ever. And I don't know. I would like to see Miyu win just because I believe that Ham has more time left in the sport. And so
she'll get a second chance.
Yeah, I'd like to see, Yamamoto bloodline, of course, get back in there. You know what I mean? We all love that. But I honestly believe that Ayaka and Ham is more one-sided towards Ayaka than – more one-sided. I can't even say towards Ayaka because they're going to stand and strike a little bit. The fight against Miyu would be Miyu taking her down over and over. don't know that many of these girls can stop Miyu Yamamoto from taking her down. I think that you're just going to have to pull her into submission. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying Hamasaki's not capable of that, but she's usually best when she can piece you up on the feet first, like she did to Jin Yufrey both times, right? Knocked her out one time, I believe. Anyway, did you pick this fight, Dean?
Yeah, I'll take Hamasaki. I think she gets it done here, and yeah, Miyu could be an interesting challenge because she's such a specialist. But she's got to not get blasted to death by Hamderley first.
I mean, it's all respect to the champion, but it's like Ham is almost the uncrowned champion, but the way she's been looking, right? I mean, it wasn't just her fight against Tomo, the Deep Jewels champion. Yeah, the girl was a little bit smaller than her, but she got kneed to death. That was a brutal finish. She was holding her head on the ropes.
Oh, that was a fight where the ref like threw her across the ring.
Yeah. tossed her. That was a good fight, man. So I mean, so you guys would like to see Ham against Hamasaki? It's fair to say.
Oh yeah.
Thanks a lot. I'm gonna go back and cry now. All right, main event time. Kyoji Horiguchi, the motherfucking 2 promotional champion, only one active in the whole sport, right? Pound for pound, one of the best fighters in the world. One of the best bantamweights, flyweights, whatever you want to call it in the world. Taking on another killer in Kai Asakura. The only thing I worry about is it too early for Kai? Muhammad.
Yeah, I would say so. As far as like he's scratching by like split decisions against Manel Cape a couple of fights ago, and then Top Noi is also an exciting fighter, but like look at who Horiguchi's facing consistently, and like even the fact that he did so much better, so well against still lost against Mighty Mouse so many years ago. I think it's just a classic example of levels, and that's going to be very apparent when these guys actually fight.
Dean.
So I'm not sure if it's like an early thing as much as it is just Kyoji just being on a completely different level and being so much better. And to hear Masvidal say that Kyoji is the best guy at ATT is like, it's pretty crazy.
He also said that he was wiping up the floor with Lineker and who was the other bantamweight there? Did you hear that part? He said that it's on.
Yeah, that he's consistently outdoing them, but I don't remember the name. Yeah. Lineker was the first one that came out.
I can't remember the other guy's name, but anyway, he's not the only one.
Yeah.
You're talking Mike Brown, you're talking Dan Lambert. Everybody is saying that he's the best fighter to ever walk through the doors of ATT.
So, was it the Brazilian guy?
Yeah, is it like Yusef Formiga or something?
Formiga, and Lineker, yeah. Good job, Dean. Dean to the rescue. I think Horiguchi's gotten so good, but you know what? The Asakura brothers are a different breed of fighter. They're not traditionally trained by MMA. For people that don't know, they come from a promotion called The Outsider, and The Outsider is a promotion that takes, like, let's say Muhammad was fucking up in school, which he probably was, 16. They would go get you if you're getting in fights, and they get you. Oh my God, we have somebody there, or is that Teep's wife?
Say again?
Is that your wife?
Thanks for calling in.
Thanks for calling in, sir.
Welcome.
How are you?
You got a question?
Thanks for having me, bitches.
Go ahead and talk to this fan here, Clay.
Yeah, who do you think is going to win in Horiguchi versus Asakura?
I think it's a lot tougher matchup than people are might be just generally into. Because like Horiguchi, he kicks so much ass. Of course, he's going to win. But this is actually a really tough matchup. This is going to be a banger. I think I would predict Gucci to win a decision or lose on cuts. Shin to the dome. I think Shin to the dome is a lot more plausible as an outcome than certain other ones, you know? It's just those guys are wild. Those brothers are crazy.
Yeah, I was going to say, you watched the Rizin Confessions, the newest one. They already got a strategy out for Horiguchi. You can see it in the video. They're watching some tape of him, and they already break down, like, they're saying something in the clinch, like when he's closing the distance, they already know something's going to land there.
Mhm.
So they didn't say like a flying knee to the dome or whatever you
No, in
just
fact,
said,
they
T,
edited
but
some of that part out.
Oh, like
yeah,
a
they
shin kick.
edited some stuff out. They censored it.
Wow.
You know how Gucci comes in with the long range punches, like he covers a lot of ground to come in and strike. But that, it's like if someone were training the right pad work, they might be working up a kick you in the dome kind of response to those punches. You know, like I could see that happening. Like I could see that happening. Maybe like a quarter of the time Gucci gets cut, it stopped, and the rest of the time he's going to win a decision. I think he's a better fighter right now, but stylistically, very intriguing.
No, I agree it is, and I was just kind of saying that these guys came from, both him and his brother Mikuru came from outsider promotion, which, you know, takes troubled youth off the street. So they're not, I mean, they're training a little bit more traditional martial arts now, but before it was just street fighting. And Kai has the tendency to get into those street fight wars where he just starts swinging wildly. We saw it against Cape a little bit. We saw it especially against, I want to say, who was the guy that he knocked out a couple fights ago? It might have been Moon that knocked him out, right?
Knocked him out. Yeah.
Loss. Jay Moon was his only loss in Road FC, and it was the same type. If you guys watch that fight, it was the same type of thing. Kai gets a little wild and starts swinging a little.
That was the only fight where his brother wasn't in his corner, though.
Yeah. That's the thing that scares me is, I mean, like I told you guys before, I'm really scared of Mikuru Asakura. Like, you know, I sit in my house now and I kind of look out the window and make sure he's not there. Seriously, this he's real serious, and he, like you were talking about, Clay, seems like him and his brother have a game plan.
Yeah, watch the confessions if you haven't already. They broke it down pretty good.
I agree. Dean, what do you think about this now?
Horiguchi's the best in the world, man. I think his one of his big strengths is control over distance. Those karate guys really can cover distance well and control it. I think he's gonna look impressive again. What do they say? The unified world champion.
Oh yeah, you got him knocking him out.
I think so, man. I think he'll look impressive. I think he might get a finish.
You know, I mean, that's smart money. It was beyond Horiguchi, of course, to the knockout. I could see Teep to Junk's point about cuts. Even though the only time we've really seen Horiguchi cut was Manel Cape, and then Horiguchi got stitched up and fought later that night against Ishiwatari and still beat his ass too, right? Fucking guy's unstoppable. Like, let's just be real.
I mean, if Tension couldn't land anything clean on Gucci in a pure stand-up fight where they always work on like rolling thunder, flying knee,
a couple ball shots
so
clean.
Precise. Yeah, with those ball shots in consideration. If such a clean, fast, crisp guy can't do it, then I just don't see, like, no matter how tough the Asakura brothers are, I don't see them with their like wild style.
Well, you're
like
saying the brothers. Let's be real here. Mikuru is a lot bigger than Horiguchi, and Horiguchi had to move up to fight Mikuru. It'd be a different story, right?
Yeah. But they're in terms of the style, like, because Mikuru, even in his last fight, like, he was undersized, and then it's when it turned into a brawl, he found that opening against a guy who kind of threw that to the side and ended up losing the fight by making that decision to stand in there and like start swinging and everything, right?
Clay, did you get to watch Horiguchi against Tension?
Yeah, I told you my first Rizin event was Rizin 14, okay. But I went back and I rewatched a bunch of them. So yeah, I've seen that one.
Awesome, good to hear. Did you think that should have went to an extra round? Are you familiar with?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Muhammad, you thought that too? I think we talked about that.
I don't think on the judges' scorecards it should have, but as for fans, yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. So that's the thing. I would have loved to see another round, but it was pretty clear where it was going because Horiguchi had gotten hurt really bad in the third round, and he was starting to duck.
After he got kicked in the balls.
And the balls and some shots started landing.
He got hurt, but it was after he was slow from getting kicked in the balls 2 or 3 times.
Yes.
Sorry,
I think that extra round would have just given more chance for Tension to get like an actual finish win, because you don't come back from sometimes it's hard to come back from one hard ball shot, let alone 3.
Right. Real quick, Dean, just to set the record straight for the people who don't know, Horiguchi fights tension in MMA, and what happens?
Game over. It's
Yeah. See, so for people that say that, that's not going to be about. But would you guys like to see a rematch of Horiguchi and tension if we can't find, like, after he defends his title and one of these off fights? No.
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 Too many other.
He's got to go in Bellator.
Yeah.
Yeah, Horiguchi doesn't need to take any more unnecessary damage. Unless
what happens? You know what happens when he goes to Bellator, Teep? He comes home with gold. He takes everything your boy the Wolf's got, and he makes him slap cameras and shit.
I'm done picking against him. I'm just going to be neutral.
Last time. That's what he told me last time, and he's all, I feel like the cage is going to have a big factor. I got to pick for the Wolf.
Yo,
it wasn't just me, though.
To be fair, I thought that too.
I thought, I was going to pick Caldwell, and I thought that as far as, because he got those early takedowns, I know he didn't do much damage, but I was pretty surprised with the decision.
Look at Dean over there. You think he was ever going to pick for Caldwell? Ever? No. The answer is no. Okay. Look at me. You think I was going to pick for Caldwell? No.
I thought the cage would be a factor, but I didn't pick against him. I still picked the Gooch.
The cage.
The thing is, early in the fight, you see Caldwell do what I thought he would do. He took him down. He got the wrist right or whatever from behind his back and landed some big stuff. And then he just didn't do any more. Gucci figured him out, and that was it. That was his shot, and he didn't finish the fight. But I thought he was going to do that the whole fight, but he did not, and he ended up getting out wrestled. Like Horiguchi was like, motherfucker, I'm pound for pound. Let me show you how I wrestle Mr. 149 pounds national champ, Division One, and out wrestled him. I couldn't believe it. I was sitting in the bar freaking out.
That's a really good point. And Dean being, probably the closest to being an active fighter of any of us recently. I don't know. I mean, you might all train, but Dean, you could attest to when a guy's on the bottom, sometimes he can wear you out really bad with just bottom control, right? Do you think that's what Horiguchi did to Caldwell? Or because I just hear it as simply being a case of like, oh, Caldwell didn't do anything. He didn't do enough. I feel like it was Horiguchi's bottom control and, not letting him out of the clinches.
Yeah, he had to use a lot of energy to not get, not just brought back up in a scramble, but maybe even swept, maybe even, moved around there with kind of the total MMA game.
So let me ask you guys this. I'll start with Clay.
Real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Real quick, did you guys get a slight Fedor vibe coming off of Gucci in that fight? Like, he was so calm.
We talked about Fedor for like
they're working hard, and he's just sitting there kind of chilling. Like,
we were talking about Fedor versus Rampage, dude.
We talked about Fedor for like 15 minutes. Fedor versus Barnett. We fucking talked about it all. We talked about the Bellator featherweight tournament. We broke it all down. You missed it all.
Missed it all.
No,
so now I have no opinion. Great.
We did talk about Fedor, but Horiguchi, I do get a vibe from him that's something really, really special every time. You guys, Mohammed, you still have your video up?
Which one? Oh, yeah.
You might send it to the rest of the guys or send it to me and I'll circulate it around. He took a video from him in the stands at Rizin 13 of Horiguchi fighting and everyone thinks that tension's a star. I after seeing that video, I was like, shit, that was 70% of the arena was cheering for Horiguchi in Saitama, right?
Wow. Well, he's got such a great story. Plus, he's also, like he's already more established. So like, tension's a rising star, but Gucci's like, how can you not cheer for him? I guess that's me. How could I not? Oh no, I did cheer for him. I picked against him though. I'm a bastard.
I gotta say, I am really upset. I am really upset that this card is not live on Fuji TV, and I hope that we're not going to see any issues going forward because neither is the next. We don't know, but the last one wasn't live on Fuji TV. This one's live on Fuji TV, right?
Why is that?
I don't exactly know. I mean, I must be a tension thing. I thought if there was no tension in Horiguchi, I'd understand, but. Fuji TV is a pretty big source of income. You've got to imagine, network broadcasting.
You think
they got Bellator, like they're not going to be going out. What were you saying, Jeep?
Do you think DAZN's going to try and? I know they're on Fight, and I like Fight, but I already pay for DAZN, and DAZN is in Japan. Bellator is on DAZN. Bellator is going to work with
It's possible.
Rizin, so, you know, maybe that they're like, hey, we could make just as much money. Like their streaming fee might be the same as what Fuji pays.
It's
Don't
possible.
splash that fee around. They doubled Bellator's revenue.
All right, before
Not that
I ask,
revenue UFC big, but damn.
before I ask you guys this question, I just wanted to shout out to Frank Trigg for not being there. If you see this, Frank, you know, we're real upset with you, especially Muhammad. He called me earlier and he said, fucking Frank Trigg, how could he not be there after all this time, right? But yeah, no Frank Trigg. We got Ben Wynn substituting in for Frank Trigg on the commentary booth, so it's going to be
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's gonna be dope.
It should be dope. I mean, you know, I don't know if you guys remember the old days of like Darren Cruikshank being in the commentary booth, but it's always fun to have a fighter. During the Horiguchi fight, we had
Anthony Burchak was in it, and he, like, I remember his commentary, like, every few seconds he would say, oh, yeah, when I fought, and it was a decision that I didn't think I lost, but blah, blah, blah. And he kept the whole time, it was just him through his
eyes. I remember that.
Through his eyes. So I remember that.
That's funny.
And then there was, who was the other dude? Joe Warren? Was it?
Joe Warren, yep.
Oh, my God. And then everybody was get him out of here.
Nobody liked Joe Warren at all.
Not
Everyone
at all.
was like, bring us Darren Cruikshank.
You know why?
Everyone was like, yeah,
It was just a platform for him for like 5 hours to be like, I'm the baddest man on the planet. I was like, I got it. Because I remember
he was cheering against Crow Cop. He was like, King Mo, he's like, he won that round. It's like, motherfucker, it's a whole fight judging. You can't show up and say that. He won the round.
Yeah.
You don't win rounds in Pride rules. What the fuck are you doing?
That was
You know, separate from everything else. You can't straight up say the wrong thing about the rules, and like, that was bad.
I've watched Rizin in Russian language and Japanese, and Joe Warren was the worst. Shout out to Joe Warren, though. You know what I mean?
Hit us up.
He's a badass dude. It's just not everyone's Mike. You know what I mean? You can be a badass fighter and not be like Fedor on the mic. I would not enjoy that.
No.
He goes, like, shut up, Fedor. Just fight or whatever. You know, be nice.
What do you guys think
He
of?
doesn't have the voice for it. Not everyone has it.
What do you guys think of? Who would we have? Melendez was on the Horiguchi fight.
Gibler.
Yeah.
Yeah, they brought somebody in during the Horiguchi versus Tenshin fight.
I usually really enjoy the fighter commentary because they do really well. Like King Mo did the K1 tournament back in 2010 when Overeem won. And that was like really, really sick to see him learn about the sport and also give his input. And a couple of these other dudes have done. Yeah.
Mo's funny. I would have, I mean, no disrespect to him, but he seems like he's a more quiet type of dude. You know, it's, you know, that's why I said Frank Trigg, you know, and then last time we had that fun drinking game. Remember, you guys were all part of that, right? And, you know, so it's like no Trigg. But I like Showdown Joe. He's real good. You know, he's real good at what he does. And, I mean, I don't know. A lot of people are down on the commentary team. What do you guys think overall? I mean, you know, just being honest.
Heath Herring. He was great. I don't know why they didn't go back with Heath. Especially the one where they would the one with the crazy horse fight, where he, you know, where he jacked up Kimura.
Oh,
Come on, that was like the greatest 10 minutes in the history of Rizin, in my opinion. That whole from the beginning of the walkout to the end when he drops to the M-word and does a little sprint around the ring. You can't beat it.
And then he jerked off and then fell asleep with his trophy in his hand.
Yeah.
Hey, man, come on. You pantomiming.
He called out Vanderlei.
Yeah, called out Vanderlei.
Candelay.
Amazing.
That was the first Rizin fight my wife watched, and she's like, dude, this is so dope. And she like stays up for all of them now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was great. That was perfect. That was like just slightly above like some of the promos, the Granny Army and Jazzy Alpha cut with Gabby. Just slightly above, you know, because those were epic.
Well, I mean,
I don't care what those are some of the best bits there are.
My daughter's watched a bunch, and we had watched. She didn't see the last one, so we watched Oka Sasaki's ring entrance.
Oh,
bananas, right?
Crazy.
I mean, is someone going to beat that this year? You think?
Well, Horiguchi still chills down my spine, even though it's very simple. But the song and him coming out with the fireworks and everything, I almost fell out of my seat because I didn't expect the fireworks. Because you don't get an idea of how loud they actually are when you're watching the stream. but I was in the arena. I'm looking around, and it just popped. And I was just like, "What the fuck just happened?"
If you would have been looking at the other people who knew it was coming were covering their ears. You know what I mean? Because I guarantee there was a lot of people.
Yeah.
Hey, Clay, let me ask you this. Did you get to watch the 2017 Grand Prix opening final round?
Yeah, I've seen that one.
It was the one where Takada had the laser fingers.
Yeah.
That was one of the coolest intros of all time of any MMA event ever. He had the laser fingers, and he couldn't wait to get in the ring to the drum, right? And he had part of his thing on, ripped it off. Here I come, Takada heading to the ring to hit the drum. That was badass. I hope we get
was the back. No, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, which was the one where he trolled him with the trumpet solo? Was that the same one where he had the flame skirt and flame batons?
The trumpet one, I don't remember if that was. No, I don't think that was the flame one. But I do remember the trumpet. That was good. He played the trumpet really, really good. He trolled everybody.
Actually, they might have been pantomiming to a pre-recorded track. It sounded like it had been mixed down. That's hard to do live. Mic and horns live.
Don't you ever say that about Takada, that anything was pre-recorded ever again?
100%.
I haven't studied the video, but I might be able to pick it up.
Takada has a Nintendo game, okay? A Nintendo game. Not a Super Nintendo, regular Nintendo.
What about it?
Takada has a Nintendo game. Don't ever...
He has a
Yeah, check it out. Takada's Pro Wrestling or something it's called. But that's why you never doubt the great Takada. That's all I'm saying.
That's badass.
It was live.
Apparently,
it might have been live, but it sounded very tight for live.
I mean, we'll do it live.
Fuck it. We'll do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live.
All right, let me ask you guys this before we get going, and I'll give everyone a chance to give final thoughts. But going to Muhammad first. Muhammad, who has the best chance to beat Horiguchi in the world?
In the world, I don't know. I'd like to see a Mighty Mouse rematch. I think Horiguchi takes it. I'd just like to see. He's kind of like the Mighty Mouse of Rizin. I'd like to see Manel Cape get back in there now that he's had a few more fights and we can see him maturing, and just see like how the rest of the division matches up. But as far as 135. Well, obviously, I'd like to see him against the current 135 guys in the UFC. But I really don't think anybody outside of the UFC can really match up with him.
Dean, what do you think?
Would you like to see him against Frankie Edgar at 135?
Yeah, that'd be great.
I mean, that's a good match, but I think that he beats up Edgar. I think Edgar maybe with a couple fights.
I think Edgar dies going down to that weight.
Yeah, that's possible.
Honestly.
Well, he is going down to that weight, though, right?
He is.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard, and that's a big cut, I think. He's not a big featherweight, but he would be a big bantamweight.
He was the fucking lightweight champion for a long time, not cutting any weight, right? Yeah. That was crazy. Just what do you think, Chief? You got somebody from Bellator? I'm sure you do.
I do, but let's throw it over to Clay, man. Poor guy is just chilling over there on the side screen.
You weren't even here for like 3/4 of the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. When my wife says jump, I just jump.
Oh, we already all know that, bro. You're worse than Muhammad.
Side, and then I had to do some stuff. So yeah, I'm.
Let's not start talking about wives, or Muhammad's gonna get offended here. All right. So.
All right. So sorry.
Clay, go ahead. Who you got beating Horiguchi if you had a gun to your head?
Okay. So
probably DJ. Yeah. If they figure out a 1FC and Verizon cross promo, which I don't think that might ever happen, but if they do, I see DJ being the most, probably the most realistic one beating Horiguchi.
Makes sense. Do you agree, Dean?
Yeah, I want to say it's got to be like one of the huger bantamweights. I'm just like trying to go through and think by default,
Yeah, Marlon Moraes or somebody like that.
Power striker, but a guy who
DJ not so much anymore, I think.
A guy who could take him down and give him some problems would, for sure be Mighty Mouse.
How do you guys think Cejudo would do against him?
I think that would be a tough fight for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we didn't see that.
Very competitive.
Yeah, that would be a tough fight. I'm not even sure who would win that. to be honest.
This is what sucks.
That's a fight we should be seeing.
Yeah, I know.
We need to have the 3 major belts unified.
If I'm Cejudo, I'm calling out Horiguchi, not Valentinko, right? Let's be real here, you know.
Yeah. I think DJ's on the decline now.
Yeah, I'll call Valentino to come over and hang out with me. Don't get me wrong, but you want to get in the ring. I mean, seriously, he's talking about how he's such a gold digger. Like, call out Horiguchi. He's called you out already. You know what I mean? Put pressure on your boss to make it happen. Because all you're doing by ducking him is making people realize that, like, it's not like nobody knows that Horiguchi's a cross-promotion champion. You know what I mean? You'd have to be so focused on just the UFC to not know that Kyoji Horiguchi's out there, right? It's the same as Mighty Mouse. Everyone knows that he's in one championship. Like, we're not dumb as fans, you know?
Yeah, it's just 6, man. He's not going to mention.
So I just got to say, a realistic shot of somebody beating Horiguchi that we'd actually get to see, I still believe would be Shintaro Ishiwatari. I just, after their first fight in Valley Tudo, Japan, it was such a close fight. I know it wasn't the same Horiguchi back then, but then they had a second fight, and it was the Grand Prix. Both of them had fought twice, you know. I mean, in the last 2 days, fought on the 29th, fought on the 31st, and then they fought each other in the finals. I think a full training camp Ishiwatari is about as close as we're going to see, and that includes Bellator. I just think that he's that good.
You busted. How dare you?
Well, it's just the truth, man. Can't help
No, that's cool. So I got a couple ideas. So I think
it's he is the king of pancreas. He just vacated his belt. He got hurt. He never lost. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think if Patricio Pitbull can make 35, which he says he can, make 135, I think he's the biggest threat because he has a lot of the same qualities and he hits like a truck. I mean, you don't just
make 35. Dean, you think Pitbull can make 35?
No.
In the sauna.
The thing is, he barely cut. For 55, he might not have even cut, or he might have just cut it.
Well, but we were just talking about Frankie Edgar, who's a smaller guy.
No.
No, but the thing is, Patricio is like 5'5", I think, and he's got the shortest arms in the division. He's not a big guy. He just hits like a powerhouse. He just has that style. Like, he's very tight with his.
I think Edgar is probably a smaller guy than Pitbull.
I think Pitbull will knock Edgar out.
I would have said.
Now I agree with you.
I'm just saying, we were just talking about how hard it would be for Edgar to get down to 35. I just think the same thing applies for Pitbull. They just look too big to get to 35 to me.
Shit, if Asper Lad can make it.
He's tiny. If you look at him in his fights, if you look at him versus Chandler, he looks like he's way top now.
Holy shit. I'm
but
sorry,
hey,
Lad, if you ever see this. I'm sorry for these atrocities. Nothing. Go ahead. Sorry.
So I would say also Patrick Mix. Did you guys see his fight with Banderas?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. He backpacked him and just took him out instantly. But, like, he has a strong amateur and pro thing. Dean's suffering over there. But I think he might have a good chance because, like, Horiguchi's skill is, like, you know, he can be taken down, but it's hard to do anything. But Mix, man, he was so fluid and it was so instant. And we saw Mix give Banderas give Archuleta a hard fight. Saw him wipe.
Well, I will give him something there because Horiguchi gets his back taken in almost every single fight that he's ever fought.
Yeah, it happens with Mix. It's over. Maybe not automatically over, but that's the guy I would say because I was shocked. Knowing how good Archuleta is and Banderas.
That would make sense.
Mix, Banderas was crazy. That was crazy.
So I got another one for you guys. Next year.
Victor Henry.
Victor Henry, I believe.
He's a little bit smaller.
I believe it was Victor Henry. Yeah, but Victor Henry trained with Horiguchi for the detention fight. So he knows him a little bit. You know what I mean? And so that's a good one. I mean, you're right. He might. I don't know if he's smaller. I have no idea about that. Maybe. It seems like they're about the same size, I'd say. But that's a really good one. That might be as good as I would like to see. If Victor Henry wins, I would like to see him against Ishiwatari for the right to fight Horiguchi.
Oh, that's a great fight.
You know,
that's badass.
That'd be dope.
You should be matched, man. That's sweet.
I'll get
I should be matchmaking those ones.
Let me start speaking Japanese, and I'll get right on it, bro. I do want to ask you guys though, next year, what kind of tournaments would we like to see between Bellator and Rizin? What weights would you like to see, Dean? Because obviously this year we have the lightweight and the featherweight, right?
Mm.
Which is bullshit, by the way, that Mikuru Asakura is not in the featherweight tournament in Bellator. I just got to say that.
Yeah, what the fuck? I was expecting that. But they have a lot of people. They even had to leave some people out. It was kind of crazy.
People that don't belong there over fucking Mikuru Asakura. That's my point.
No, I agree, man. I would have taken out like there's a couple guys that like Cecilia, a couple of guys that's not that bad fighters, but it's just like the young hotness. You put in the young hotness. But I saw what they were trying to do. Coca said, we got some vets.
Right.
We got some of the legends of the division. Like Weichel beat everyone he met except for Pitbull for a long stretch there. I mean, he's the long-time number 2. He's like Big Nog to Fedor of Bellator's featherweights, except Fedor lost to Strauss one time.
Right. So let me ask.
Let
me ask you, Chief. What would be your ideal tournaments for next year for both promotions? What weight class?
Light heavyweight, maybe. But for Bellator, for the DAZN tournament series, light heavyweight, like Coca said, man, they just signed Albrechtson, Jordan Young's about to hit his prime.
Well, because they're both clearly though, if this cross promotion continues to go well, they're clearly going to mix and match in both weights, right? Both tournaments, and that's why I'd like to see a little bit of both. I agree with you, like heavyweight and Bellator. What about Rizin, Muhammad? What would you like?
I don't know. I guess like we haven't. They took care of like big is huge for them, so they go light heavyweight / heavyweight open weight thing, but we don't see anything in the 170, 185 range, and we've already taken care of a bunch of the lighter weights. So it would be really cool to see the the weight classes that like Maha Sakurai was in, and like the 170 kind of dudes. Maybe 1FC Shinya Aoki would never come in, but some of those dudes that can be around the 170, 185ish class. Would be really, really cool to see.
Well, look at Hiroyuki Tetsuka, right? That is the king of pancrase. He talked when I talked to him a lot about wanting to fight for Rizin, like his whole career he's wanted to, but they don't really have a 170 division. I think that's a really interesting point because there is some good dudes. And Dean, you were asking me earlier about welterweights making the cut. He cuts from about 185 or 190, to 170, and he's built like you've seen the way that guy's built. He's all upper body. And so it's crazy to me how some of these guys cut so much, but good point on that, Muhammad. Dean, you got anything to add to that? What would you like to see?
Yeah, if not one of the super lighter weight classes, then I want to see huge guys. I want to see like 7 foot tall freaks. I want to see Jae Hong Man, Bob Sapp.
Yeah, man.
Rocky Martinez, he's down to brawl with those guys. That's dope. That's a dope idea. Clay, how about you?
Yeah, I was going to say that. I'd like to see a freak show tournament. All the crazy just put out a roll call in Japan and see all the crazy freaks you can pick up.
Well, they got him. They got the sumo guy. They got him.
What if instead of like a weight class, like a maximum limit, it was a minimum? Like you had to be
minimum. I was gonna say that.
Yeah, you got to be 250.
Just so that there's no like hyper athletic guy like Ryan Bader who could just come in, because that's what we always see. Like the elite light heavyweights or heavyweights come in and blast all of these like huge dudes. But we should have it fair even for the big guys, so that it can be who was idea. That? Mark Hunt. I think he's a free agent, right?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Mark Hunt back here doing atomic butt drops and whatnot.
Like I said, I know personally. You throw Rocky Martinez in there, and he's down to fight any of those guys.
Oh hell yeah!
He's a big dude himself, right? I mean, he could make that minimum, like you're saying. Put it at a minimum.
It's so cool to market it like that.
Like young Mark Hunt right there.
Yeah, like a. They have to have like a bench press minimum and a squat minimum.
Yeah.
You put all that
up. They did with that arm wrestling tournament back in the day.
Yeah, well, no, and you're right. I think anybody that's like under 250 is automatically going to be able to move a little bit better laterally and shit.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, so you can come in at 220. I'm going to be able to move a little bit better than you. But if we're all 265 and up,
because like the open weight Grand Prix, they had like Wanderlei versus Krokop.
Yeah.
And like, some of these smaller guys don't give a fuck. So
Well,
they just need
look at was it the open weight? No, it was the heavyweight that Mo won, right? When he beat
Yeah.
Cruiserweight or yeah.
Heavyweight.
So what was it? They had an open weight one the next year that Crow Cop won that one.
Yeah.
He beat Mo to win that one. See, and that kind of stuff is fun too. I totally agree, but
that minimum weight is a great idea.
That's
to have only big dudes, and then a lot of the sumo guys. Although Osanarashi can't be back, I think he's like permanently cut from Rizin because he got in a second car accident. He already got it once because he got kicked out of sumo for driving a car when they're not allowed to one time, and then he did it again. He got in a second car accident in Japan, and now he's out of Rizin as well. That was supposed to be his whole storyline. That was supposed to be his return.
Yeah, that was why he was out of sumo.
He was with his wife in the car. She could have been driving. She's not sumo sized. Because they said that sumo wrestlers can't drive because they can't access the steering wheel.
The John Jones school. The John Jones school, bro, where you just can't help yourself but drive cocaine, right?
I see an open weight tournament though. I don't want it to just be a heavyweight tournament with like 2 light heavyweights in it. It just feels kind of novelty. If it's open weight, I want to see everybody. I want to see.
But I think that you would see that. I think that there's enough brave guys in Rizin that you're going to see that. I think you're going to see someone like a Mikuru Asakura say, you know what?
Bigard Musashi. Like how Musashi used to do. Go step in against Mark Hunt and like knock him out within the first round or some shit like that.
That was Musashi at 185, tripping.
185.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Mark Hunt's well over 260.
No, but I'd love to see Baruto make a comeback. And who's that big Egyptian dude that Crow Cop knocked out? The guy that was also juicy.
Amir Alex.
Yeah,
Amir Ali Akbar.
Yeah, exactly.
Teep, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
You got some really big guys in Bellator that are barely making the weight at 265, right?
Yeah, Prindle, right?
Javi Ayala, he's a big boy. He probably cuts or he floats. He has to check himself to make sure he's not over the day off. Like he's a big
Sergey Karatanov.
Karatanov's a big. He's like a tank.
Is he doing okay after that nut shot?
He's gonna fight.
Yeah, they're fighting.
They're
fighting at
Bellator, saw that.
225. They're rematching Mitrione and Karatanov. I love that fight.
Next week, we're also gonna get together.
Absolutely.
If you guys want to get together, we're gonna get together and do a featherweight breakdown of the Bellator featherweight thing. And at that time, maybe we'll know a little bit more about Rizin 19 as well, which is going to be October 12th.
Yeah,
excellent.
Something very important. We did you guys mention a women's open weight Grand Prix while I was gone?
No, we didn't. But where I have a problem with that is you got a girl like King Reina who has now started to drop weight. I think that she would have been a perfect opponent against someone like Gabby Garcia when she was 160, 170. Now that she's dropped all this weight, she doesn't even look as good as she used to look, and I love the girl. You know what I mean? She's very mean. You know what I mean?
But it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be her. They can find, even if it's a 4-woman tournament. Take Julia Budd, Leslie Smith, Gabby Garcia, and no, Cyborg won't fight Garcia. They're
that's what I'm saying though. Reina would have fit.
Put them on different ends of the brackets, or no, on the. Yeah. I don't know. Make it so that, and then plus it would still end up like Shogun Wanderlei. That if they ever ended up in the same fight, Shogun was just gonna like back out and let Wanderlei take.
I don't think they probably want to be on each other's side like wholly and completely. Although I understand people want them to fight, but I want to see Julie Budd fight both of those girls.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to Oksana Gagliova? You guys remember her? She fought Gabby Garcia. Huge. She was huge. She was as big as Gabby.
Yeah, I saw that fight.
Was that the eye poke?
Yeah.
I'm forgetting.
Was that the eye poke one?
No one ever heard of her again.
That's true. Nobody. Yeah. She was from Road FC, I think, or Real FC or something.
I just feel like Gabby is too dominant to not slap a belt on her. So just like Julia Budd versus Gabby Garcia, and then
Shinobu Kandori, right? You got to put Shinobu Kandori in there, right? She has to be in there. She's got to get the fight she deserves, right? Kandori, she got robbed last time because Gabby didn't make the weight. Put Kandori in. He's still alive.
I just want them to find some good fights for Gabby and keep her busy. Like, you can do the free show fights, but don't then have her sit. Like, keep her busy. Let her build a record. Give people something to aspire to go challenge her. Like make her an even bigger deal. That's how I feel. I don't think they give her the proper. You'd be like, look, we've got the baddest ass woman on the whole planet. Come and get some. Here's her belt.
She has been training for this ADCC for a long time. They were going to get her a fight earlier this year, and she's been really, really training for this fight.
I see.
Because she wants to win that again. And I'm sure, I don't know much about jiu-jitsu things, but I'm sure that you train for something like this for 6 months in advance at least. You'd think. I mean, it's the World Championships, right?
Yeah, it might be.
Way,
I'm not sure.
Shinobu Kandori is only 54, so she could still compete against Gabby Garcia. Let's just be real here.
Just a baby.
Trilogy.
Man, look at how well her teammate did when she was bouncing off the ropes. Remember that?
That's one of
That was the first
thing
Horizon
ever
fight
did.
I ever saw.
That was one of the best ones too. Gabby
Yeah.
just caught her with the left, all of a sudden. Boom.
Greatest thing, one of the greatest things that ever happened in the Rizin ring.
I agree.
She actually went for the 4th rope. Even when Gabby was closing in, she went for the 4th rope.
Fourth row.
All these
and then
guys
got
learned
close
something.
line.
And then
Yeah.
the ref didn't stop it right away, right? The ref let her hit her.
It was like bugging. Once she caught her, it was as good as over, and it was just a question of how quickly she would ball up so that the fight would end.
Yeah, but the ref let it go, man.
It was like a spider catching a fly.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
And coming out in like the heavy metal chains and shit.
The ref could have stopped it a little
Do
bit
the weight in
earlier,
and, like,
man.
heavy metal
She took some
chains.
shots.
She went full Rob Halford, the guy from Judas Priest, didn't she?
Yeah. That was a good
I
fight.
must have got so many chicks.
It's right. The other fight that I've laughed that much on, though, was the Bob Sapp sumo wrestler fight. I laughed so much. It was just
That was great.
It was great. You know what I mean? I think that Rizin has gotten away from that a little bit because we see people that are like, oh, like you guys were asking for. You guys want the freak fights. We want those sometimes. It doesn't have to be every event, but you get the American pushback of the UFC people that are like, oh, no freak fights. Let's watch CM Punk. You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
Right though? I'd rather watch,
James Toney.
right?
Chuck versus Tito 3. Like,
Oh, let's put James Toney in there with
Tito
him.
versus Dos Caras.
Right.
oh my god.
Hey, I got to say, that last Chuck and Tito fight, I absolutely loved that. But it had the greatest trailer in history of bad trailers. That trailer they put together where even the footage of them hitting the pads was bad. Do you remember that? They only it was like they had a second limit on pad footage they were able to shoot. It's like, did you guys do this in an afternoon on Windows Movie Maker? It was the greatest.
They were like, no, Chuck Liddell's doing this on purpose. That way, Tito doesn't see his real speed.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Trailer. Have you seen the trailer they put out? It's like a minute of hell. It's the worst thing you'd ever see. Like, you could
fight, bro. I can't believe you said you enjoyed that. Let's compile the list of all-time worst things ever said. Well, first of all, the top 2 are by Teep here. I'm a Luke Rockhold fan, and now this. But Muhammad one time told me that he thought that maybe fucking Floyd Mayweather intention might have been fixed, and I'm still gonna go strangle his ass for it. I'm outing you, Muhammad.
Bro,
Defend yourself.
I may still have to stick with that because I watched
podcast is
the
over.
replays, man. It didn't look good, man. It didn't. Number one, the matchmaking didn't make any sense, and number 2, it did not look good. I've seen.
But you know why it looked good,
I've seen real punches.
They're 5 weight classes apart. 5 weight
The
classes
thing that
apart.
knocked him out, Mayweather threw a punch like this. It wasn't even like the knuckles. Like
he got
the
hit behind the ear too. He got hit behind the ear. What are you suggesting that they would have fixed it for him to lose in the stupidest fashion ever? I'm just wondering what the suggestion is.
Let's embarrass the rising star and prop up the American who's going to be in the market in competition with it.
I'm sorry I mentioned that. I'm going to cut this part out.
5 weight classes.
I'm going to make sure I cut this part out of the podcast.
It's Mayweather's terms. They brought him in just to get more eyes. And they tried the hardest to be like, no, you know what? Like, he's like, I'm definitely going to win. They're like, okay, decision? He's like, no, I need it to be like even better. Because
why though? It was only like $1 million though. Why would he even do it in the first place?
Because he's coming out of retirement and he's like,
I think about 8 or 9 million. No, but the thing is, Mohammed,
Oh,
Imagine if instead of Conor fighting Mayweather, Conor fought Andre Ward. You familiar with him?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
If you take someone who is not a seasoned pro boxer and you put them at a big size disadvantage, they're going to lose.
and
Conor was bigger and younger than Floyd, and he lost. He was zero threat to him, and he was bigger and younger. Tension had virtually no chance. I was just hoping he would do some crazy shit. But he didn't. He came in, he hit him once. Floyd got mad. That's like 5 weight classes, dude. There's a reason you don't see anybody make that jump in the modern age.
And let me ask you guys this. We all watched Anthony Joshua get knocked out by Ruiz, right?
Hell yeah.
Okay, what happened there? The first shot hit him behind the ear, and Joshua never got his equilibrium back, right? He even said to himself, his legs were never there. Watch that first shot on tension. It was an equilibrium shot. But I will refer you back to Sakaki Baro, who said, anybody who even suggests that fight is fixed doesn't even belong talking MMA. So we need to before it gets out of hand here. Dean.
Bye, guys.
Dean, what do you got to say for yourself? Where can people follow you?
Yeah, man, hit me up on Twitter, Dean Burley MMA, or Dean Honey Badge on Instagrams.
You going to be fighting anytime soon?
No, man, I'm too old. I can't compete anymore, but, you never know when Captain Americana might show up.
This is bullshit. This is a guy I know on Facebook that's looking for a fight, and now he's too old, like 5 days later.
Do like an exhibition in Japan versus your stoner dog. They'd love that shit. It's great.
I'll fight Dean. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's hard to breathe out of it, though, so I got to finish quick.
That's much love, Dean. Thank you. Muhammad, where can people follow you, brother?
For Dean finishing quick.
Oh, my God. I'm scared.
Sorry. What'd you ask me?
Where can people follow you, man?
Don't follow me anywhere. Leave me alone.
That's because of your fucking tension shit, man. People are gonna fucking be all over your ass now.
Destroy me.
Fuck, I wouldn't want nobody to follow me if I admitted that shit either, man.
No, I honestly don't even know my Twitter handle. I think it's like
I don't either. Man. I always try to tweet you, and I'm like, I don't know this motherfucker's Twitter handle. What the fuck, Dean?
I thought it used
to be. Keep what you got for us.
What's that?
What you got for us? Where can people follow you?
Oh, Twitter, Teeth to the Junk, and on Reddit, it's /Teeth to the Junk and come at me, bro.
And
I get trolled a lot. I'm not a graceful winner. Like if someone's spouting some bullshit that looks intentional, I kind of rub it in. So most of the people that follow me like to just give me shit for being an asshole.
An asshole all around.
Join on in, because I'm probably having a lot more fun than they are.
And Mr. Clay, also known as Uncle Joey's MMA edits.
Yeah, you guys can follow me on Twitter. You guys can look up Depressing Moments in MMA on YouTube. And Luke Conceived Rockhold. That's my newest video out. I'm doing a Chris Cyborg video right now, actually, around the Felicia Spencer stuff. It's going to be hilarious.
Awesome. You do great work, man. I just got to tell everybody, the Depressing Moments was pretty depressing, but you want to watch something that's also funny and depressing was the Luke Conceived Rockhold. That was one of the best videos I've seen on Luke Rockhold. Unless you're young.
I want Teep to see that. I want him to see
it because he won't be.
I might have seen it. I'm going to make sure I have seen it. But let me just say, I will always have Rock Salt kicking Bisping right in the top of the dome, jumping butterfly guard and rolling him over for a one-armed guillotine. Fuck you guys.
Hey, bro.
When was that? Like 2012?
I know. I don't even know.
And I just know that he fucked Bisping up pretty bad in the first fight, and then he got all like, it's easy. And he got
nobody even remembers that, bro. All we remember is Left Hook Larry.
I know, but I'll always have that.
I just got to say that video that we were referencing, don't watch it, Teep, because I'm telling you, you won't make it to another one of these podcasts. Your wife will find you hanging in the room later tonight.
That's dark, man. No, I'm okay. I lived through 3 Fedor losses. I don't have any feelings left.
I don't have any. This video. If I was a Rockhold fan and I watched this video, I'd be like, holy shit, how am I a Rockhold fan? I'd bang my head.
Cyborg video, it's going to be good. You guys are going to like it.
No doubt. Did you give out your Twitter and everything?
Yeah, it's just Uncle Joey MMA on Twitter.
Right on. We'll be back in a couple weeks talking about Bellator. Much love, Dean, Muhammad, Steve.
Arigato gozaimasu.
Clay, thank you guys very much, man.
Nice meeting you guys.
Right on.
Yeah, War Rock Salt. Rock Salt!